Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. What am I in my 40s? Oh my God. How's everyone doing? Oh my goodness. What are you guys talking about? Welcome to the Sunday stream. Jackknife, what's up, buddy? That's from yesterday. Thank you for the membership. Man, this guy is huge, huge GTA streamer. So I'm very honored he popped in. Thank you for the membership, man. So we'll definitely have to do a collab soon. JT is here. Good morning. How you doing, buddy? Butter Slayer, what is up? Welcome on in. And I think you're from probably from P90's community, I'm guessing. Look at this guy. This guy might be backstage right now. I think he might be backstage. Well, we'll have to see. Good morning, Matt Rubin. How you doing? We are just waiting on WillLo. I think he said he was having a bit of computer problems, but I think I see him backstage. So let's bring him in. Whoa. Dun-dun-dun-dun. How is it that you're up at 8 o'clock, but you're still tired? Are you all right?
Streaming for like 12 hours last night.
Randy's mom streams for 12 hours daily.
Randy's mom is got it going on.
Raj, Jacques, what's up? Mutron, Zachary, good to see ya. Sorry, go ahead, buddy.
I got nothing. I just you know.
What were you streaming? You're all dressed up. What's that all about? I didn't get to see it.
Yeah, every time we hit our sub goal for the month prior, I do a costume cosplay stream for 12 hours as a reward.
Nice.
Yeah.
That looked fun. 12 hours. Good on you, buddy. Good on you. I'll get there someday, man, but I don't know. In bed by 8 o'clock. I don't know if I could do it. I'd probably be out like hung over the next 2 days.
It was a long night. It was a lot of fun, though.
A lot of fun. Good stuff. TJ's here. Bat Stan. Good to see all of you. If I missed anyone, much apologies. We got a special guest this week, Will. A fine young man that's I don't even know how we met. I think he just popped into my stream and started hanging out. Then I checked out his stuff and we bonded over our love of Ninja Gaiden. So we're gonna bring our special guest, P90, in just one quick second here. But what's new, man? Are you ready for tomorrow? Ready for the big trip?
Yep, should be exciting. Yeah, we'll hopefully find some. Maybe hopefully I'll buy something this time, not like last time.
That's okay, man. You know what? I feel bad razzing you like that about the box. I get it. Only you know what's best for you, and that's all that matters. So yeah.
Do you follow Brody's on?
Uh-oh. Like Will froze. We'll remove Will here. I think he froze. He's having some PC problems today. So that being said, oh, there we go. He's back. Are you all right? You good?
I don't know. What happened?
You froze.
Oh, see on my screen, it looked like you froze. I'm bringing StreamYards.
It's not StreamYards, my friend. Anyway, so did I check on Brody's? You're saying Brody's page? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Do you follow them on Facebook?
Yeah.
Because I saw they sold the little Samson in
no
Restaurant Panic
Restaurant. No way. Really?
Yeah, a couple dudes drove up from the States to get them.
And like Don was saying, a Big Time Gamers to us, that's where a lot of that stuff goes. It briefly shows up in stores in Canada and then goes back down to the States.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, which is a shame because we don't I don't know. Kind of sad that we don't get to keep that stuff up here. Does it feel weird?
Raj, to answer your question, I saw it earlier today, but sorry I didn't get back to you before the stream. I don't keep the Grand Theft Auto streams up because of the music. So that's why they always get taken down. Yeah, that's why. It's not something I get in trouble for, but there's no kind of ad revenue for that stuff, so it just comes down. So that's why you can't find it, man. Yeah, it just happened. We hit 10K, and I thought the perfect game that we already had on the schedule was Grand Theft Auto Online, so that's why. Sorry, man, if you missed it. It was a hell of a time. I tell you. The coffee was flowing like coffee. It was a delicious time. We tried a heist, Will. Den of Geek had like a submarine. It's pretty intense, man.
Submarine?
Yeah, it was pretty. Like we went to this like drug lord's island and had to raid it. It was pretty sick, man.
Hmm.
But all right, are we
I didn't
ready to
even know
bring
there
in our?
was submarines.
There is, buddy. There is. If you go under the one tab where you buy all the vehicles with the weapons, the submarine will be on the top and it's locked because you have
Hmm.
to. You can only unlock it to buy once you've started that. What's it called? The heist. So it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. All right, let's bring in our special guest. This poor guy has been waiting backstage. Let's bring in P90. 1, 2, 3, and he's in. There he is. Look at this guy.
Oh, sorry, man. Just playing some Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, he's playing some Ninja game. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, good morning, guys. How's it going? Jay
hello.
and Willie. Hey, chat. It's a
I think
pleasure
you
to be here.
guys- You guys know each other from the chat, of course, but it's good to see
Yep.
you here.
Yeah, I never
Yeah,
met Willie.
so-
Nice to meet you, dude.
He's the legend.
And he'll never want to again.
Okay.
He's the legend. He's the legend. Jamel, thank you for the sub. Much appreciated. We'll highlight that there. Boom. Very awesome. So yeah, P90. So what's your gaming background? I'm assuming you're obviously around our age, right? Or this stuff probably wouldn't interest you.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm a 76 kid, so getting
Oh,
there
yeah,
at the
okay.
age. Yeah. It started, well, funny story. In 1981, my dad was a cab driver. And one of the guys he drove had no money. And my dad was a big guy, and he said, "Well, dude, I've been driving you for Power of the Morning. We need to settle this." Like, he goes up. This is a true story, obviously. Gets an Atari, brings it downstairs. He gives that to my dad. And my dad was like, "What the F is this?" Oh, it's a
Wow.
video game system. It had like, I don't know, 10, 15 games. So he brings that home. I was 5 years old, dude. We connected. The rest was history. So
That's it.
that story is legend, man. So playing some Atari games, it was kind of cool. Asteroids and a lot of really old games, right? So I was only 5. My memory is really far on that, but that's how I got started. And then obviously in 1987 or 86, I got the NES, and NES is still my favorite system of all time.
Nice. What
One
would
of the
chat?
greats for sure.
Yeah, Chad, I got a question for you and for Will. What was the game that hooked you guys? What was the game that you played and you're like, okay, I'm now a lifelong video game player. This is it. This is the kind of hobby I want to pursue forever. What would you say? It's got to be Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers. I know that's cliche, but it is my buddy
Mhm.
Darren's birthday. We stayed up and played it all night because up until like you were saying P90 with the Atari, it was games that just went on high scores and they went on forever. But Super
Yeah.
Mario actually went with high scores and it also went with an ending, which was really cool. Will, what would you say is the game that hooked you?
I would say it's probably. I'd say Zelda on the NES. Just that
Zelda,
adventure. Yeah. I really liked Mario, but like what really captivated me was going through, and I was younger at the time, so a lot of it was playing with my cousins. But like seeing them progress through the dungeons and me helping along the side, that really got me into it. And then from then on, it was pretty much just gaming and playing together, like Contra after that, and Super Mario Brothers 3. So good.
Mario 3 is crazy, man. It's like on another level. It's like almost as like it's not even a game.
Yeah, it's
You know
such a
what I mean?
big
It's-
jump from the first two, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So a
Can I
lot of
share
Mario.
Can I share my embarrassing Zelda story? So
Yeah.
in the elementary school, this guy lends me Zelda. He's like, "Yeah, this game, it's a really cool game." So I bring it home, play it. I didn't realize at the time that you had to create your own save state, right? Or your own, sorry, not save state, but your own uh, file. So I playing off his file. I had no idea, dude. So I'm going through dungeons and I'm like, "There's nothing to do. There's no Triforce." And I tell the guy, I don't get this game. But then we finally figured out. I never started my own file because there was you only had 3 files, right? So I never actually started my own file. So I was playing all weekend and I was like, it was just kind of funny. Then he's like, "Dude, erase one of the files that's my sister's and just play from there." And then I was hooked after that.
That is hilarious. That's hilarious. The old 3 files.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're pretty lucky that we got batteries. Packers, what's up, buddy? Excuse me. All right. All right, let's start this thing. So we're on issue 26. So we're not going to give a heavy workload to P90. We'll divvy out some reviews and maybe a few articles, but Will and I will take the heavy load like usual. That's what she said. I don't know. But here we go. So we are in September 1991. Will, can you believe this? 2 years. We started in 1989, and here we are in 1991. Will, you're muted. You're muted. No, you're muted. I can't control that. Can't unmute the guest because they choose to mute themselves, it says.
I didn't mute nothing.
There
I'm
you
telling
go.
you,
You know how
StreamYards.
you ever been on a live stream there, bud? You know what's going on, or are you good?
That's why I'm blaming StreamYards. Still doing it. I was sitting here minding my own business.
Dude, it's probably me, man. No,
Stop doing those 12-hour benders, buddy. Like, oh my God, it's melted your brain.
I think the fumes from the makeup on my face really did it.
You looked friggin' awesome, man. That's good on you for doing that stuff. But anyway, okay. It's not OBS, Matt. We use StreamYards. There's no OBS here. I don't
know
use
Jay
OBS.
uses bootleg software.
StreamYards is bigger than OBS. That's not true, but StreamYards you pay for. So, anyway, what are we talking about? What are we getting on?
So just a question, guys. Was the Super NES out at this time, or was it actually on the verge of coming out?
Not out yet.
Not out yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so last issue was the big Super Nintendo preview guide, buyer's guide, or whatever it was.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's but since almost the very first issue of this magazine, they've been talking about it. So
They've been
it's
hyping
kind
it.
of like this big event that we're pumped for, even though it's hilarious. We know what happened, but I feel like these Sundays are like a little bit of a time warp. I feel it's a little bit. Oh my God, look at this.
Oh, centerfold.
Packer says this issue, there's a 2-page article and unfolding poster of Randy's. The true Starcade legend, Randy's well. All right, can we do this now? Let's get going. Let's go. Okay, so obviously, other parts of the world, it was known as the Mega CD. Operation C.
First Contra game I beat, actually.
Nice. If there's one thing I love, it's the Konami box art. I think as much as Capcom is my favorite, I still think overall Konami's artwork is better because they didn't try and westernize it like Capcom did. Like the box for Strider is a perfect example where it looks like Jeff Daniels. It's really ugly, but anyway.
Did you guys play this game?
Not the Game Boy version, anyway.
Okay.
I think I rented it. I think, but I don't remember it. So good, yeah.
Oh, it was a great game. My friend had it and he lent it to me, and it was great. I played this before even playing Contra, believe it or not. So that's how I discovered Contra. Yeah, it was kind of weird. I never had Contra. My cousin had it, so I played it afterwards, and I'm like, oh wow, what a difference! But this was a really great game. It was really well made. 5 levels, I think, and it was great. And the second level, it was in the style of Operation C, so it was kind of like that top view there. But yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like when they started to do that.
Yeah.
But I didn't really like the third person view in the first one either. I just like the side stuff, but
yeah, it's much better.
Yeah. Might have to go back to this one. Now this is here's a terrible game. Oh, it's just brutal, man. I mean, look, I'm not a flight sim guy. And even like when I was a kid, I definitely wasn't a flight sim guy. So I don't know if you guys ever played this one, but look at Major Wild Bill. That name's already been taken, mister. This guy stole Wild Bill's name from G.I. Joe.
Kind of reminds me of Top Gun. You guys ever played that on the NES? Trying to land the plane? Nightmares.
Yeah, the Top Gun on NES was rough.
Yeah.
I've never been good at flying games, so even to this day, I don't play any of those games because I get so disoriented with like up and down and stuff, and it's all over the place. I usually just crash and die. Don't put me in control of a plane ever.
All right, so remember not to fly with Will.
Yeah, as long don't let me fly.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'd be fine if we're flying together. But you know.
Yeah, and then it's me. You want to tranquilize me or throw me in the trunk or something because I'll be freaking out. I can't even do like the first person mode in the GTA Online. I get all scared. But anyway, this is neither here nor there. All right, look at all this great stuff we got. Let's get into it. There's Rob. I almost called him Rob. There's Will's game.
Rob Hood.
Dude, we went to Tilt last night and we were there till like 12:30. I feel like I've been up for 3 days. It's hilarious. I can't stay up late anymore. Anyways, are you getting this one? Is this one going on the list for you, buddy, or what?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to get a copy of that. I think it'd be cool.
Interesting. So Virgin Interactive Games. Yeah, I still have no recollection of this or the cover art. Nothing.
I've never played it. I know they pimped it in Nintendo Power, but never played it myself.
Oh, you guys will remember like when this came out, man. This was
Movie
90,
was huge.
yeah, 91. Yeah. I mean, it was, I don't want to say it was Batman, Tim Burton big, but it was pretty freaking huge. And that Bryan Adams song was number one for like 40 years.
Oh my God. I don't want to hear that song ever again.
I liked it at the time, but
yeah,
the
me
girl
too.
I was dating at the time in high school, that was their song, and it was and it came on the radio every like hour. So I was like, "This is true love," but it wasn't. It was a lie. Starflight, EA, Genesis. I never played Starflight. Maybe we'll hear about it in this one. Okay. Okay. So how about I start off? Will and I will split this one down. The insert coin is the editorial by Ed Simrad, who has taken over. Steve's too big for his britches. He doesn't have time to write these editorials anymore. It's all Grumpy Ed. So this is titled EGM Pioneers Editor's Choice Awards. All right. How many times has this happened to you? You want to buy a game and you're at the store. Hey, every time I buy a game, I'm at the store. You look at the boxes for the information printed on the package, game description, and screenshots. You buy the cart, only to find out that it's too easy or just wasn't what you expected. That's $50+ down the drain, mister. If it's any consolation, you're not alone. I'm reading dozens of similar letters each week. What makes it even worse is the fact that many of you are not buying these softs.
Hate it. I hate it.
I hate that word. Let me ask P90, what the hell is a soft?
I was just going to ask that. I have no idea, man.
Well, it's software, and it's just
my God. Oh, wow. Okay.
The infancy of the terminology back then when a game is like super hot, they call it I can't say it. Will you say it?
Ugh. Really?
Soft.
No, don't like it.
It's a hot soft.
Hot.
Hard to come by, but they, eventually you do see a hot soft.
Quite a few players are getting the carts after reading a review from the experts, but the problem is that many of the reviews are either always great or committal. Well, that's fair. How many times have you read the overused phase? If you like these types of games, then you'll like this one. It's great for the magazine as the game manufacturer won't get upset. P90 and I were just talking about this backstage. That's hilarious. But the reader is left out in the cold. All right, Will, you're up.
How many times have you read you like games, then you'll like this one? Isn't that something like commonly said of like similarities between titles?
I think they've said it a lot, but now he's trying to get to the fact that they're changing, or they don't say that. I don't know.
Weird. I feel like that's a good way to express. Like, if you like something like, I don't know, that new Wukong game, be like, well, if you like Dark Souls, you may like this one because it's similar. I don't know, whatever. Anyways,
what's a comparison, right? You have to have,
so people have to have something to compare it to.
Yeah.
That's I don't know. It's kind of strange that he's trying to say that. Anyways, we've taken our lumps for our honesty. In the past, we lost advertisers because we gave one of their carts a less than average rating. But what we lost in ads, we gained in loyalty, reader support. And your support helped us grow to be the best and the largest magazine in the industry. The advertisers have come back because you have told them that you read EGM. How? From our reader response cards that you fill out, for one. Each month, these advertisers get a list of thousands and thousands of players that want more info on their products. Also, by company focus groups. This is the best test. Huh. I didn't know they do like focus groups. That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Bring in a couple dozen players and put the game magazine on a table. Later, they ask the players to rate the mags. And the answer? EGM. We've been honest, and you've been honest in your opinions. For this, we thank you.
One of the many reasons why you buy our magazine is for our honest, multi-person review crew. That's 2 sentences. Hopefully, we'll get to 3 someday. Ratings for the new games. We have 4 players review every game, and each has their own particular likes and dislikes. Over time, you'll probably find yourself agreeing with one or another, and can take the numbers to be similar to what you would rate the game. But when all 4 agree that a certain title is great, then that card is really outstanding. These exceptional cards are now getting special attention. Oh, cool. Oh, okay. This is like their seal of quality. Oh, I forgot they had this. Got it.
I actually forgot that too.
If the sum of all 4 of the reviews numbers is between 32 and 35, all 8s or better, the company will be awarded a Gold Editor's Choice Award. Oh, that's sick. The first achievements ever, right here in EGM. If the game gets a 36 rating, all 9s, they will get a Platinum Award. The company can then use these awards in their advertising, on their packaging, or anywhere they see fit. The one thing, though, when you see the award, you know it means something. No candy coating, and not the opinion of just one single person, just the straight story from 4 players who are hard to impress. Ed the Hater.
Thanks, Ed.
That's cool. I forgot. Now we got awards. Oh, man. The best day ever. This is the best day ever. That's
So do you think
cool.
we're going to see any of these in this issue?
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, if the game deserves it, but yeah, they would debut it here. What do you think about that, P90?
I think that's pretty cool. Like I was telling you, like Nintendo, I only read Nintendo Power, right? So obviously they were giving biased reviews, and it was never. Sometimes I got caught. I can't remember which game I bought, but it got an 8, so I went to buy it, and I'm like, dude, that game is not that great, and I was disappointed. But I didn't even realize magazines like this existed. But yeah, I think that's kind of cool for the game itself. If it gets if they could put that in their advertisement, that's neat. And Nintendo Power had no advertisement either. They only introduced advertisement, I think it was in 92 or 93. I guess they were
Really?
I don't know if you knew that there was never any advertisement in Nintendo Power. So
I liked it. I definitely like Nintendo Power. But I just remember like when the console war started, I just remember I wanted games. I'm sure everybody did, right? But I wanted games from all systems. And I was going to put myself in a position where I never had to choose. So, I mean, honestly, this is hilarious, but this is one reason my first job, I was 13, washing dishes, which is completely illegal now. But back then it was fine. But my first restaurant job, actually with Skylar, Will, he got me the job.
Oh, yeah.
And I got that because I wanted all the systems. I wanted to make sure when a game came out that I wasn't, cut off from it kind of thing. So there you go. That video games got me to work. So there you go. It's the opposite of what most people say about games. This game's bad, man. We've talked about Bill and Ted before.
Yeah, during the Game Pro episode.
It's so bad. So bad.
These movies are great, though.
What is Toe Jam and Earl? Look at the ad. Just takes up half the letters.
I thought something was copied wrong. I was like, what is going on here?
This is like this. Remember the Sonic ad where he's like running and he's running for 3 pages and then it comes to him. Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. You said it, Cutthroat. Exactly. Well, I mean, my mom was good to me. There's no doubts about that. But, even trying to convince her about different systems was tough, right? So I'm like, well, you know what? If I can get a job, work weekends, and I would have just enough money to like buy a game out of a 2-week paycheck.
Dude,
so what's up, Hazel? Sorry?
So I was going to say, I wish I would have thought of that. My parents made me, or it's probably me that decided that. So I was actually had to sell, like my NES, I had to sell my NES and my games. And even to this day, it makes me it's a very questionable decision. Like I kind of wish I would have kept it. And I guess I was 15. I could have found a job, but well, you know what? That's part of life. And I still rebought an NES in the future and I rebought some games, but kind of wish I would have kept all those games, right? I think I had over 30 of them. So,
well, we all have that story, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the things with collections, they're constantly evolving, right? And we're constantly trimming the fat and all that kind of stuff. So,
and you don't know how things become like down the road, right? Like rarity and stuff.
You
Yeah,
could never
exactly.
really
You had
tell.
no
Yeah.
idea back then. Of course, if you knew, I would have never done that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jacques. Cheers to all the parents who helped us out. Absolutely. I
I
always will be
remember
grateful to my mom for that.
the last video we did at it was at Brody's.
Mhm.
We were going through the PS2 games, remember, Jay? And we were looking at them, and like Futurama was one of those games that's become super rare on the platform.
Yeah.
But when we worked together at EB, we couldn't get rid of copies of Futurama.
That's
Well,
wild.
it was a
They just
licensed
sat
game.
around
Yeah.
forever, right?
Yeah.
And then
Well,
now it's like one of the rarest games. You wouldn't expect that. You'd be like, okay, that's weird.
well, it's rare because it didn't sell, right? So there's like
Mhm.
nothing out there for it. But
yeah, but at the time we were just like, yeah, this thing's garbage. Why would anybody want this?
I mean, I was one of the few people that didn't really like the show, so I know I was in the minority back then, but it wasn't my thing. So to play the game, I mean, I didn't even really want to play the Simpsons games, although I did. What was the Grand Theft Auto one? Hit and Run. Yeah, that one was.
That
great.
was good.
Yeah,
It's a good
Yeah,
game.
that was a good game.
it is a good game. Yeah, and the other one was the Crazy Taxi one, the Road Rage. Yeah, yeah. Pete, what's going on? I think I missed someone else in here. Josh has joined us over on the YouTube side. Good to see you. Fat Belly, welcome on in. It's worse when the screenshots are for a different system. Yeah, they've made a few errors in the magazine. Absolutely. Yeah, I know. I appreciate it now. Just at the time, Josh, it wasn't. It's like Family Guy. Family Guy took me a long time to warm up to. But okay. Will, you're up.
I was reading a little bit of this one because I was curious what it's going for, but I think it's kind of a neat little.
Is it super political or?
No.
Okay, go for it.
No. EGM and Desert Storm. I'm a 29-year-old sergeant in the United States Marine Corps and have just recently returned from the Persian Gulf region. While I was there, I had my M16 and a gas mask to do battle. I also had an Atari Lynx and a supply of EGM to combat boredom.
Oh, it's so
all
wicked.
4 items were
Yeah, that's cool.
lifesavers. I would like to thank you for your support and kind offer that appeared in the July issue of your magazine. You can have the best weapons money can buy, and you can have the strongest generals to lead the battle. But if the troops aren't motivated to fight, the war is lost. Well, I would like to say to you and all of America that gave us your support, thank you for the motivation.
That's awesome.
Wow.
I think it's like a
power.
nice, that's like a real good, heartfelt
Mm-hmm.
kind of message, right? Like, I feel like that's nice.
Did you guys ever play the Lynx? Oh, sorry, Will.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, did you guys ever play the Atari Lynx?
Yep, I had the first one. I promptly got rid of it, as I don't know if you know this. I say it all the time. I'm not a big portable guy.
Oh, yeah.
I never really. I mean, I bought them every time they came out. Even the PSP, I think, was the last one I got. I always felt compelled to get it because it was a new system. But never a big fan. The Lynx was all right. My buddy Skylar was really into the Lynx. He had that, so I kind of lived through him because he bought all the games for it. But
You want that Turbo Express though?
I can't do 1K. I want it. Like you said in the video, you never see that anywhere. Brody's was sick,
man. That's so basically I played every. Like, did it just play every TurboGrafx 16 game? It was just in portable format, or it didn't have its own games because I really know nothing about this.
Yeah, it used the actual carts from the Turbo.
That's awesome.
You just put it right in.
Plop them in and play. Wow, that's neat.
It's like the Sega Nomad that came out later. Just played the
right.
Genesis games. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's so cool.
All right. Ed's reply.
Ed says, "Thank you for your kind words, Chris. We here at Sendai are very proud of our troops who risked their lives to maintain peace in the world. The news was on constantly here in the offices, and more than often than not, we would be watching the TV for the latest Gulf info. Congratulations on the job well done." As well as he stated in the editorial, if anyone who served in the Persian Gulf wants a subscription to any of our publications, just send in a request on our company's letterhead, and we will take 50% off the subscription price. As least we can do to show our appreciation for our for your unselfish dedication. That's such a great thing on their part. Like that's
cool.
This is the second time that they've done that, I think, for someone who's served. Yeah, that's amazing. And like it's just I don't know, man. Like it's not even nostalgia. It's just like thinking back to this time in my life. It's like this stuff meant so much. I mean, this gentleman is a friggin' sergeant and he carries around EGM. You know what I mean? I was a kid carrying around EGM. It's just so crazy that how much this magazine and this like whole brand new entertainment medium was taking off and how much it meant to so many people. So cool. I'm not
Yeah.
no, I'm not portable. No.
And when
Actually, Jay's pretty tiny. I feel like we could just pick him up. And take him.
Yeah, I'm 5'7". I mean, I'm pretty not big.
Oh, wow.
Pete, what's up? Pete says I sold my whole NES, Super NES, Genesis, TurboGrafx collection to get a PS1 and N64. Listen, buddy, no regrets. We got no time for that. The good news, Pete,
That's right.
you can always get that stuff again.
Exactly.
It's just more expensive, right?
I'm sure you still had great memories with the PS1 and the N64, right? I don't know.
You know what,
Great
Pete?
platform.
I'm gonna say too, buddy, that was the normal thing to do. Most people upgraded, right? They would get rid of the old technology to bring in the new technology, right? This whole idea of collecting games, I really don't think was a thing until like the late 90s. I would say when cartridge-based systems ceased to exist, then people were like, well, I kind of miss that old, it was just like, oh, let's play the old Nintendo tapes for fun, kind of thing. So
you guys remember the Game Boy that survived the Desert Storm? And it actually turned on after. I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, that was wild.
It's in like is that Nintendo's head office in the US?
I think it is. Yeah. I think the guy that he actually gave it to Nintendo, and yeah, it's still turned on after surviving an explosion. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
That's pretty
I was watching videos recently of the Nintendo Museum that opened up recently, and I really love to go to that.
Where's that?
Cool. It's in Japan.
Kyoto, Japan. Yeah.
Nice. Well, we got to do the B.A. Baracus thing, guys. Just knock me out and trank me up.
Send you on your merry way.
We'll go there. Yeah. You send me somewhere completely different. You're like, watch this.
Hey, where's the drive the plane?
No. Okay. So, P90, how do you feel? Do you want to read one of these letters or do you want us to keep going?
Yeah. Well, I have one on the next page if that's cool.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm curious about this one.
The Super Graphics or the nudity and Stormlord?
The nudity and Stormlord.
That was the ad I always talk about when it pops up here, where the goddess woman was showing her chest was exposed.
They changed it with a skeleton, right?
Yes. Okay, go for it.
I'll have to look into that after. Nudity and Stormlord. I hate to bother you with this again, but back in issue 22, you said that Razorsoft put clothes on the fairy in Stormlord. Another magazine said the Razorsoft won't compromise. That Razorsoft won't compromise. I would like to believe you, but for the record, who was right? That's from Ron Saxon from Ashland. I'm not sure if that's Alabama. I'm guessing it is.
Yeah,
so then
I would think so.
What's AL? Our friends in the States at Alabama or Alaska? I don't know. Yeah. So we're all three ignorant Canadians here. Apologize.
Yeah.
I barely know geography here in Canada, so don't ask me much about the US.
How many provinces?
Cutthroat. There you go. Alabama. Thanks, buddy.
Oh, there you go.
So how's that reply to that message?
Yeah. You doubt us? This is an easy one to answer. The fairy will be wearing a flesh-colored bodysuit when the card gets in the stores. Okay.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting game. I don't think we've come across that. I haven't been really looking for it. I've been looking for Techno Cop, which is for Genesis. It was a game that I believe it was JT and I were talking about that on one of the streams. And we actually, looking over the footage, Will, of Brody's, I saw it. And I'm like, I remember seeing it there too. And I was like, I was going to go back to it. But man, I see those, the super rare stuff, right? And then everything else just, that's my flaw, man. Is I get laser focused on that stuff because it's like, when are you going to see that again? When are you going to see that again? You can always get this, but yeah. Anyway, you guys know my hipster pick. I'm going to pick the Super Graphics one. More Super Graphics, and I will find this system. I promise. I think your coverage of systems and game reviews puts the others to shame. As a proud owner of the Super Graphics, Anthony, I'm going to look this guy up on Facebook. Hang on. I'm just kidding. As a proud owner of the Super Graphics, I would like to know why you don't cover this awesome machine. Is it because the lack of software? Are there more games coming? Anthony Zubin from California. Then we see 1941 has been released for the Super Graphics. Well, the Super Graphics has precisely 6 games. So
Wow.
that I want to dig into because I don't understand why. It came out shortly after the TurboGrafx. Never came to North America. It's known for its like arcade port of Ghouls and Ghosts. That's it. But I'm a hipster and I gotta have it. So Ed says, we agree with you that this is an exceptional system. It is really too bad that more companies in Japan aren't supporting it. One new game every 4 months is not very good. Oh, Jesus.
That's rough.
Yeah. Even though EGM is the largest magazine in the industry and constantly runs more pages every month than anybody else, space is always a problem. We will continue to offer the biggest and best international coverage anywhere. And that is where you find out about all the new Super Graphics games. For even more Super Graphics info, though, check out our sister publication, Super Gaming, as that mag is devoted to international games. That's it. I'm taking a stand. I'm not saying softs anymore.
Do it. No.
Taking a stand.
Softs is fun to say.
I'm not.
Them hot softs.
I won't.
Oh my god.
BX, what's up, buddy? How you been? Good to see you. Welcome on in.
What do we got? Oh, I feel like this one's gonna be a fun one to complain.
Let me just say before Will, you sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
I don't like this Sega ad. It's really disrupting the flow of this entire.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's
and it goes on for the whole, almost the whole mailing section. It's annoying.
I don't like it. Anyway, sorry, William. Continue.
It's okay. Don't be sorry. We got one here that says Sega bashing. I feel like this brings out like we should do a funny voice for this one.
Do it.
I don't mean to complain, but in recent issues, I've noticed quite a bit of Sega bashing. For instance, notice that I always compare Super NES games to Sega Genesis games, but you never compare Genesis games to Super NES games. How would you compare Sonic to Super Mario Bros. 4 or Streets of Rage to Final Fight? And lastly, your Sonic review was outrageous. The way you raved about it, it sounded like it was a 10. What brought it down to a 9?
Oh my god.
I'm Jason from Conestoga Park, California. Let me know.
Sounds like Cartman there.
That's good.
Thank you. I felt like that needed that emphasis on it. I hate people who complain like this so much. So annoying.
Well, hopefully Ed takes him out here.
Sega bashing, not us. Well, we compare SNES games to Genesis games. It's not because the Sega games are being picked on. Rather, we are comparing a new game with the best on the market at the present time. In some cases, SNES games, because it's being run on hardware which does cool tricks, will be better than the Genesis game. But in other instances, because Sega has more experience gaming for their systems, the Genesis game will be better. Such was the case with Final Fight versus Streets of Rage that made Jay really upset. Review crew numbers of each game were run side by side just to show which was better. As to giving games like Sonic a 10, we are very hesitant to give any game a perfect rating. While the 10 was used in the past, we have since then refrained from calling a cart perfect. It may happen someday, but for the meanwhile, 4 9s will be the best any game can hope to get.
I believe it's Link to the Past or Ocarina of Time. Get all 10s.
I was just going to ask that.
I'm pretty sure it's Ocarina of Time. At least one of them.
Really?
Maybe both, but
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time, I'm fairly certain I remember getting like 10s across the board.
Well deserved, actually. 2 excellent games.
Yeah,
Games.
for sure.
Innovative at its time, right? I mean, how could you forget Ocarina of Time? The first time anyone played that, you're just like, holy crap, man.
Yeah.
It was surreal, man.
It was revolutionary.
Yeah.
Same with like Mario 64. Both those games on that platform like revolutionized like the gaming industry.
P90, do you want to do the Great turbo coverage. That's pretty small. That one.
The Sega Bash. Sorry.
Great turbo coverage by Raphael
Yeah, sure, man.
Yeah.
I'll do that. So great turbo coverage. In issue 19 of your turbo insert was the best one yet. While that was 6 months ago, there was photos of the new games in there and that other mags have yet to cover. Even the all turbo fan size can't come close to keeping up to date on new products. Since you get new ones, since you get the news first, what can we expect to see in the future? That was from Rafael Hinjos from, oh boy, Chihuahua, Mexico.
Place called Chihuahua.
I'm not too sure. Just say Mexico. He's from Mexico.
We'll just say Mexico. And the answer to that is, you're really going to like this issue, Raphael. No wimpy 2 pages buyer's guide here. How about 16 pages of new, never seen before turbo games? Our contract publishing division, in cooperation with NEC and all of its licenses, have created a new Turbo Champ supplement. And like the previous one, we got a glimpse in the near and distant future of the TurboGrafx 16, the Turbo Express, and their CD-ROM peripheral. All of the new software described and shown, and as usual, it's only an EGM, the authoritative resource of video games. That's cool.
Nice.
Good stuff. Good stuff. We need more turbo. Cutthroat needs more turbo. I need more turbo. Willie needs more turbo. JT needs more turbo. Who needs more turbo?
I've never played it. I'd love to play it someday. I've never even seen one, man.
Whoa.
Nintendo fanboy here.
To be fair, it's always been rare. Like, it's always been hard to get and hard to find, and some people say hard to want, but I disagree with that.
Never so good. It's a shame it just never sold well.
So good. I agree, dude. It's so good. Oh, there's a lot of words. There's a lot of words. Sega CD-ROM update. Well, that's the cover story, so we got to do it. I'm sold. Thank you, Eric. All right. He's just going to buy one. He doesn't care. I'll just take it. Sega has really shown everybody that they are solidly into games with their well-designed and thought-out Mega CD-ROM. Does it really have 6 mega of RAM? Awesome! I can't wait till it comes out over here. It is going to make the Super NES look like chopped meat. This guy actually wrote that and thought that was like, he's like, oh, Mom, this is going to be awesome. Watch this. Tell us more. What games are coming out for it? Eric Applegate from San Diego, California. Christina's brother? We got a couple more letters before we get to that. Will, do you want to read the next letter? I'll read the response.
What if I say no? No, it's okay.
Well, I mean,
I'll read it.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's the show. I mean, this is the show.
Let's go. Jesse Purcell from Wichita, Kansas writes in asking, you couldn't believe how excited I got when I saw the real picture of the Sega CD-ROM on your latest cover. I couldn't wait to read all about it, and you didn't disappoint me. As usual, you had the info first, and that's why I buy your mag. Can you keep us up to date each month, as you did with the Super Famicom? How about a Mega CD com?
Nice. HGC, what's up, buddy? Welcome on in. I knew you guys would be the first with the actual info on the Sega CD-ROM. It sounds like it will update the Genesis hardware to a point where it will surpass the features of the Super NES. Tell me it will. Tell me. How about some game screens now? The others will take forever before they get the details. No. What? Was this guy all right?
He may be on something.
One will acknowledge its existence in September, the second in October, and the last not till June, because they only talk about U.S. products in the stores. Keep up the great work, says Telly Pips from what's CT? Connecticut. Yeah.
Easy, Pips.
Oh, then I gotta read this thing now. All right.
You want to read it? You want me to read it?
New information on the phenomenal Mega CD is coming weekly from our WorldNet trademark. Did they just invent the internet? Is that what that is? They trademarked it.
I wouldn't say they invented the internet, but they may be one of the early ones on it.
EGM invented the internet. Everyone is witness to it right here, September 1991. This is a trademark. Okay. First, there are a few new specs you'll want to know. The access time has been clocked at a minuscule 1 second. Also, since the Mega CD-ROM has memory to burn, Sega's allocated 1 megabyte just for instructions on how to operate the unit. Is that good? I don't know what that means. And the sound specs are among the best ever. Sampling is a 32 kilohertz, I think. And there is an 8 times over sampling digital filter. Whoop-a-de-doo! What does that do? I don't know. It just makes it nice. I don't know.
Good question. It's a good question.
Sounds good.
That's better than some home players CDs, I guess. Graphically, the new MC68000 will be able to do a lot of cool tricks like biaxial rotation, enlarging and shrinking. Zoom.
Enlarging and sinking hot softs?
Shrinking.
What is going on in this magazine?
All in hardware. Yeah. Check out the international outlook section. Yeah, great. Okay. You know us. We don't. The tech stuff is gonna like. Okay, come on. Everyone's gonna fall asleep here. All right, Willie.
What else we got? Who's on first? Who's on first? This is a long one too.
I mean, I don't know what you want from me.
I don't know. Stop writing letters in. Go back in time. We're taking out all these people. Stop it. We're doing that actually guy first with the angry Sega stuff. First of all, I must congratulate you on a great magazine. I think, excuse me, I know that your magazine is the best out of all the magazines that are out. I look at all of them in the stores, and if one looks like it has something new, then I'll buy it. Yours has gotten to the point where I buy it every month.
Let's go. Woohoo!
One thing which disturbs me is when another magazine lists a game as an exclusive or uses the words that tells the reader that they can see it there first. I admit it catches my eye, but after checking it out, I find it is something that you have covered months ago. Aren't there laws against that? How can others run the same inserts that are obviously ones that you created and ran in your mag? Do they think the players don't know who covers a game first?
I can answer that, Brian. They answered that last issue where they sell it to other magazines and other mags are buying it. That's how boss EGM is.
Yeah. Brian Duffy, do you even read the magazine?
He doesn't even read it. This was like, what did he say here? This is the birth of the clickbait thumbnail. EGM did it first, or these other mags did it first. There you go. Saying they have exclusive on this and they really don't.
And you know, like which magazine would that be? I'm curious. Like, was it Game Pro? Was it?
There were 4 major ones. There's EGM, there was Game Pro was second, and then there was one called Game Players, and then there was Video Games and Computer Entertainment. So there's the 4 big ones. Not Nintendo Power. I mean, magazines that covered all.
I understand. Yeah.
Those are the 4 big ones. All right, P90, do you want to do
I'll do that one.
Drexel's from True Romance? Go.
I just had to drop you a note telling you that I like the changes that you are making in your magazine. The best change are the inserts you run. While I may not be interested in every one that you run, at least they have variety and are different in each issue. The ones that I did like was the NEC, Lynx, and Electronic Arts EA. We're true and complete and show a lot of new games and info. Keep them coming. You haven't done a second one yet.
Nice. Well, I think that's your Ed. Why is it upside down? I don't know.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
looking at that.
that's-
That's like the whole
exactly.
thing is upside down. But like, so the top left corner is like regular, and the top half, and then the rest is all upside down. I'm very confused.
Well,
Is that
well,
intentional?
retro mags just scans, right? So I'm assuming it's an EGM error. Oh my god, I just noticed that. Okay, yeah, the first little bit of writing is
Yeah,
regular,
yeah.
then the rest
Yeah.
is upside down.
Yeah, it's like that part, and then the one to the right of that, we have most excellent deals and you have ever witnessed. Oh, okay. So it says we have the most excellent deals you have ever witnessed. Stand on
Oh.
your head to read on.
Dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how could that go in print, right? I mean, there must have been something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
good
pretty.
catch.
Hey, that's pretty
that's
clever.
cool.
That got us. That got us.
I'm not standing on my head though. I'm just gonna flip the magazine.
But
Flip
you
your
know,
monitor.
kids would do that. They wouldn't figure it out, right? They'd be like, "Okay, let's stand on my head."
That's true. We got there we are. We agree with you that it is confusing to see a game in one magazine 1 month and then as a first in another magazine the next month. We got a good chuckle about Ninja Gaiden 3 claim, the Ninja Gaiden 3 claim, but hey, as the industry tightens its belt and the other mags can't keep up with us in size, even those with unrelated computer coverage, some will do anything to try to get more attention. The irony of it is that they aren't fooling the readers. The reader response to our inserts and supplements has been overwhelmingly positive. After reading hundreds and hundreds of your letters, we are very excited about the inserts and supplements planned. Is that it? Or does it go up more?
It's more.
There it is. Planned through 1991 into 1992. Response from the industry is equally as positive, and as our contact publishing division staff, it's a long title, staffs up to meet the demand, you will see multiple inserts and supplements each and every month through the end of the year. And they are all free to the readers. Can't complain about that. No Sega insert yet? Wait till next month. You'll need 2 hands to carry our October issue.
Wow.
Yeah, there's some that I have from like 95 and 96 that's like a Sears catalog. Like no kidding, like especially around like November, December. It's just so thick, it's crazy.
Also, the magazine would get thicker as it gets closer to Christmas, I guess, because there's a lot of games that come out around that time, right? So I guess the magazine would fluctuate in size. Is that it?
A lot of it
I guess
has
it makes
to do
sense.
with how popular the magazine became. So
Okay.
everybody was throwing advertisement revenue at them, right? So they all wanted their ad in EGMs.
Of course, yeah.
So it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. Mega Drive games. I need your unmatched wisdom of foreign games to help me out. I have the good US games and I want to get some cool looking Japanese games. Can you preview more good Mega Drive games that won't come out over here? And since Mega Drive games are $20+ more than the same Genesis game, make sure that you tell us if the game will come to the US. Easy there, Matt Holtz from Minnesota.
Sheesh.
One company that advertises in your magazine is listing an uncensored Mega Drive version of DJ Boy. What is the difference? Oh, wait a minute. This is okay. Our international section previews each month the best games from across the ocean. Unfortunately, we cannot say with certainty whether they will come to the US. That's the chance you have to take when buying foreign games. The Japanese version of DJ Boy has radical scenes that would be frowned upon in the US. DJ Boy's it's like a beat 'em up, put you on roller skates. It's not very good, but
Okay.
it did
I was
come
curious.
here. Yeah,
Yeah, because I haven't heard of that one.
it was an old arcade game. There you go, buddy.
And just to close the loop on that one, so were the games compatible? Were the Mega Drive compatible in a regular Sega Genesis, or was not? Or you needed an adapter to play it?
No, they weren't. You could remove the tabs. You could break the tabs to do it.
Oh my gosh! Okay, because it wasn't the same physical format. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, they put the
Huh.
secure tabs on because it's the same machine
Yeah.
as the Genesis, where a lot of the, like if you're looking at Famicom versus Nintendo, like completely different cards, completely different everything. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, the review crew. So we're gonna let P90. If you want to read Martin or Sushi X, you can choose whoever you
Cool.
want. I will do Steve, and Willie will do Grumpy Old Ed. Like usual, we're gonna catch up with the guys and see what they've been up to the last month. So Steve has been hard at work looking for the real meaning of Christmas this month. He's yet to find it, but the magic month is approaching, and all he wants is a Mega Drive CD-ROM.
Ed has been trying to get through Super Ghouls and Ghosts for the last few days. Zelda 3 is his main project, though, as he likes the quest type games the best. Zelda 3, they still haven't got like the full title in that day.
I kind of like that they use that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I guess that's what it was called in Japan, but then it got. I wish it was called Zelda 3: A Link to the Past.
Same
but
here. Even Super Mario 4, I always thought it was a cool title, but
Yeah, I agree.
but Super Ghouls and Ghosts, man, that's one of the best games on the SNES. One of the toughest games too. That's a tough game. You guys
Yeah.
ever played it? I think Jay, you've played it. I think I saw that on your channel.
I play it a lot.
Yeah,
I play it a
cool.
lot. Yeah.
I'll do Martin if you guys don't mind.
Sure, go for it.
Martin.
Read. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, our number one player has been mastering some of the new Super Famicom shooters like EDF, I guess that's Earth Defense Force, and Dimension Force. His favorite is still Super R-Type. Oh, so he likes the shmups, the shoot 'em ups.
Was EDF
Yeah, you'll-
around then?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I
think
think
so. what is
I had
it?
Earth
that
Defense Force. I think it's on the SNES online thing on Nintendo. It's Earth Defense Force. It's a shooter. It's not that good, but I think it came out pretty early. I think.
I know of the more recent EDF games, and they're pretty fun. They're just like mindless shooters.
Yeah. That first one was known for getting the 1,000 achievements on Xbox pretty easily. I remember that was one of those games. We used to know a bunch of people, P90 back in the day, that would come into the stores that would buy games just to get the 1,000 achievement points on Xbox. I know
Really?
the first,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
the first Earth Defense Force was one of those ones that you could do pretty easily. All right, so we're going to start with Shatterhand by Jalico for the NES. Steve gives it an 8. Anybody in the chat plays Shatterhand? I think we saw this one at Brody's. Nope.
Yes.
Did we?
Yes. I think we did.
I think it's like
I'm pretty sure we mentioned on it.
I think it's a mid-tier rarity, I think. Steve gives it an 8. Shatterhand represents one of the rare games that uses a tried and true theme, but then supports it with a complement of good graphics, sound, action, and play technique. The game may have some similar features, but the package is totally unique. Bravo, Jalico. Whatever happened to Jalico? Does anybody know? Matt says, Shatterhand, I never heard of it.
You want me to
Shatterhand
look-
is good.
Yep.
That's a good question. I know that City Connection was my favorite Jalico game. Man, that was one of the first arcade games that I played a lot. It was actually at my corner store. My mom would be like, dude, go buy some smokes for me. So, of course, I was like 10 years old. So I'd go there, and then it was the only game, right? And back then in 86, obviously arcade games were more superior than Nintendo games, right? So it was just super awesome to play games with great graphics. And City Connection, you guys ever played that one?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Jalico was dissolved in
Oh.
2014.
Wow, they lasted that long. I can't. Can you when you're looking up there, can you list some of the later games, like maybe in the 2000s that they
I
did?
can't even recall one of them, to be honest.
Let's see. They go up to the Wii. This
Really?
is, let's see here. Hold on. PlayStation 2, they had a bunch of stuff. Xbox, Sega Saturn,
Wow.
Swan, 3DO. They were making some mobile games up until 2009. Where'd the Wii go? It said Wii stuff, and now I'm looking on Wikipedia, and it's just like a big list.
It's interesting because I don't remember their logo on anything new. Yeah.
I remember the last time I remember seeing a Jalico logo was on Game Boy Advance games, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to say Bases Loaded 4.
Bases Load, yeah, they made that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made that series. I remember that. Yeah.
The last thing they made officially for like a console was in Japan only, and I can't pronounce the two titles.
Mm.
All right, who's up?
Ed gave it an 8 as well too. It's going to be a no-name sleeper, and you can't afford to miss this great cart. Not soft? Disappointed.
Hot soft.
Nothing new here, but everything is just done perfectly. And when that happens, you end up with a game that is actually fun to play. One of the best games to come along in quite a while.
Good stuff, Jellico. Good stuff.
All right, I'll
May
read
you rest in
Martin's.
peace.
Yeah, I'll read Martin's here. Oh my god, that's going to be hard to read with the 8. So Martin gave it an 8 as well because he's not too original. Finally, another decent game came out for the Nintendo. Shatterhand. It's been one. Oh my god, I can't even read that.
It's been a
Oh
long
my
See,
time.
okay.
long time since I've played a game. Okay, it offers the graphics, sound, and gameplay that this game offers. Also, it has 9 completely intense power-ups. However, it's a bit too easy. Sorry, guys. I should
It's
put
okay.
It's hard to read that stuff, man. With the
I
that's a
want to
weird.
point out
Yeah, go ahead.
everybody makes fun of us for reading and that we have
Oh my
issues with
God.
it. I'm glad
Yeah.
that you're here to
Okay,
kind of
good.
prove that it's not just us.
Man, my eyes are like
Mostly. Mostly.
mostly.
Yeah,
Alright.
Yeah,
it's-
but we still
it's
have
hard,
issues, but
yeah.
it's not just our issue. Like a lot of it just is hard to read on these for some reason.
Oh my god, that's kind of weird that they did that. They should have. Whatever, your choice.
Matt says hot soft this, hot soft that. What the hell happened to a cold soft? Would that be a bad? I'm assuming a cold soft is a game that probably didn't do so well.
Do we have to do the hot soft Hoktua thing? Is that something we should say now?
The what?
Let's stay on the point. A hot soft Hoktua.
Did we say that last time? We said something like that, didn't we?
We got to stay relevant with the times.
Bases loaded 3.
Ooh.
A rare NES game. 4 from Steve, who is becoming the hater. While I'm a big fan of baseball games, this update to the original Bases Loaded seems slightly unnecessary to me. It's called Making Money, Steve. The game progression is not that pronounced, and the graphics, setup, and execution each require a longer than average curve to learn. I pass.
I feel like the last few issues, Steve is getting lazy.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, wasn't Super Bases Loaded coming out pretty soon? Because I remember that was almost a launch title, and I actually bought it, so it must have been really close to being released in this game. I'm guessing, anyways.
Well, they released Bases Loaded 4 as well on NES. So
Oh, really? Wow. So that
Yeah,
must have been
that's
after
the
Super
last one they
Bases.
did.
Wow.
Yep.
Cool.
4, baby, 4.
Ed says, I like baseball games, and they have improved dramatically over the last year. But the only reason to bring out a new version is if there are major improvements. The game is slightly better than BL2, but this version is hard to get used to. It's not a bad game, but not revolutionary. 5. I think this is our biggest complaint. We've talked about this on sports games before, is like how there's an annual release of a sports game, and like it doesn't feel like there's a big difference. So why would I keep spending the $80 every year just for a roster change?
NHL hockey, anyone?
Yeah. Madden, NHL,
Yeah.
NBA, like you could probably charge $10-15, save 1 year to get a better product in like move development into like 2-year development cycle so that you can actually improve on it more and you just get like some extra income and revenue that way and you'd probably do pretty well, I bet.
And
I was just going to say, is there any sports game fans in the chat that can kind of talk about what Will's saying? Because I see what Will's saying, but I also see it from the sports perspective where a lot of sports gamers I know, that's all they play. So there's a few guys I know that they just buy Madden, they just buy NHL. So it's the 2 games they buy a year, right? But just wondering.
Yeah, the Axe Grinder is greeting with me. There you go. Yeah.
Axe Grinder, welcome. And yet people keep throwing money at Madden. And EA literally put out the same FIFA game on the Wii. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's some reason why gamers just in general keep buying it. And that's been the case for Madden and NHL since back on the Genesis, man. So I don't know.
yeah, And I think those games are developed in Vancouver, right? EA Canada and Vancouver are designing most of those. Well, the NHL hockey game anyway, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I know a guy who worked on NHL, and he said the programming up until like 2006, 2007, I think, was, I said this yesterday, but it was like the same coding as Genesis. So it's
Wow.
not much has
Wow.
changed. I'm like,
Holy
wow.
crap,
Okay.
eh? Wow.
Yeah, for like the AI and stuff like that,
Mhm.
right? But yeah.
Cool. I'll read Martin.
All right.
So Martin gave it a 4. Bases Loaded 3 looks just like Super Bases Loaded for the SNES. There you go. However, the graphics and gameplay aren't as good as Bases Loaded 2. The reverse perspective doesn't work when you are hitting and
Fielding the ball.
feeling the ball. Oh my God, I was going to say flipping.
It's
the idea
small,
was
yeah.
just the idea was good to revamp Bases Loaded 2, but it just didn't work.
Yeah, that, I don't know, like this perspective, it's obviously like a TV perspective when you're watching a game. So like from the pitcher's view, I get it, but I don't know how you could swing. I don't know. My point is I was never a big bases loaded guy. I liked SNK's Baseball All-Stars on NES was great. Baseball Simulator 1000 was great, but Jock says, yep, FIFA.
I would agree with you though, but I thought Super Bases Loaded was really, really good. But it's probably
Yeah.
me. It's one of the only games that I had, and me and my brother used to play that all the time. Like he would come over, bring some beers, and we play that game for 3 or 4 hours. So I guess after you play it that long, you get to love it.
Well, and that's again what's so great about games as a hobby, right? Because we all have, like, a lot of your love for that is probably because you played with your brother, right? So there's the tie.
Yeah, exactly.
that
There's that.
memory,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Matt says EA got lit up when they released the one FIFA, though. Everybody crapped on them for it since it was too buggy. I don't remember reading that, Matt. That's interesting. So they literally brought out the same FIFA 2 years in a row. That's pretty crazy. Axe Grinder says an EA dropped the PC version, which was the only way I could get updated masks and rosters. Huh. So Axe Grinder, since you seem to be the only one in the chat, I think, that maybe plays these. Do you purchase like football or hockey? Like, do you purchase your sport every single year? Like, do you find it worth it? Will and I talked about this years ago where we thought that just bringing out DLC for an updated roster, charging like $20 or whatever, would suffice, right? And then every couple of years, redo the game from the ground up. We were starting to see, like, remember dude on the back of the Madden, it would be like new features like create a fan. We were like, what?
Yeah, why?
like
Ugh,
that's your new feature?
I don't
okay.
understand it.
I'll be right back, guys.
Did he change the page at least? He did. Okay.
He did.
Let's jump ahead while Jay is doing whatever he's doing. We got ActRaiser for the Super Nintendo. One of my favorite games.
Oh, same here, man.
Love
That was a great
ActRaiser.
game. Yeah, it was super original game, right? I mean, you had the side scroller, but then you had this sort of world building phase, and I remember the soundtrack in that game was just phenomenal.
So good.
I think that was
the
made by
combat was on point.
Yeah, it was great game.
It was made by Enix. Yeah,
Enix, yeah, before they merged into Squeenix, I guess.
Classic. I would love to get another copy of this. And it looks so good. It has the big sprites and very so detailed. What a great game.
I remember buying that used. I think it was the first game I bought used at Microplay. They had so many copies. I think I picked that for $20, and I was like, "Yep, great game."
Nice.
How to get a copy?
Oh, there he is. Okay, there we go. We filled in that airspace. We did it.
Look at you guys. Boom, perfect.
Yeah, who needs
Oh,
Jay? Get out of
nice.
here.
I like to see ActRaiser get.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I thought you could get rid of me.
that's funny.
Our stream now.
Well played.
Yeah, this is a great game. It's a launch title, and there's the top. I don't remember a lot of the game, but there's the top map screens. Was it like Populous? Maybe was it kind of like that?
Kind of SimCity sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay. And then you would go on the tile, and then you would go into this side-scrolling fight style. Yeah, and it played so great. The sprites were
gameplay. Yeah.
Beautiful colors, and Super Nintendo had such a superior palette to Genesis. It was awesome. It was awesome.
And do you remember the soundtrack, Jay? The soundtrack was just phenomenal for that game as well.
I like that you're a soundtrack guy too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I talk about how when Napster was around, one of the first things I did was search game soundtracks.
Oh
I'd make
wow, I never thought of that. That's cool.
yeah,
Wow.
I had mixed CDs like the Perfect Dark songs and like Ninja Gate and Metal Gear and all this stuff. And I've told this before, but I'll say it again. I tried to put one of those CDs on at a party I was having. Didn't go over too well.
Oh my god. What is this
No.
music?
No, everyone was like, dude, like put on like Iron Maiden. What are you doing? Like, I'm like, oh, that's not cool. Okay.
But nowadays, there's like mix-ups of like video game music that people regularly play at parties.
Now,
It's a
yeah.
lot more common.
Yeah. ActRaiser by Enix 9 from Steve. This game is a perfect melding of Populous and Castlevania with strategy segments that lead into incredibly detailed action sequences. The building sections are straightforward enough, and while the battle scenes lack power-ups, the detail and animation and sound are amazing.
So good. This is one that's going to be. It's on my list. I got an extensive list of games to find, but I definitely want to get a copy of ActRaiser.
You got it on your phone, right?
Yes.
We're gonna talk about our list. I got mine updated too, so
Like on stream or off stream?
we'll talk about it at the end. We'll talk about it at the end.
Eee.
We're gonna talk about our big. I'm sure we'll stream from the road.
Oh, we're gonna stream from the road this time.
Yeah.
Cool.
Are you gonna
Again,
bring a proper
last
like
time,
gear.
last time we did, yeah, we'll do a proper intro. We did 2 stores, which is too much. That was I should have known better, but anyway,
Yeah, we try to rush a bit in there.
you're up, buddy.
Let's see. Ed gave it a 9 as well. I like quest games, and this is the best ever made. That's a pretty bold statement there. I guess up to this point, maybe.
Yeah. Arguably.
The gameplay is perfect, not too hard to make it frustrating, but challenging to make it difficult. Graphics and audio are what the SNES is all about. Superb. Finding a game better than this is going to be hard to do.
Cool.
You're up, P90.
Martin, this game is one of the best games that is out for the SNES. I guess there wasn't a lot of games released then, but it was probably one of the best launch titles for sure. The graphics and gameplay are uncomparable to others, and the music is absolutely amazing. Awesome. Not only is the game an intense action game, but it has a little RPG in it as well, which makes the game fun.
Yeah, this is a really memorable lineup where 64 launched. It had like 2 or 3 games. Saturn had 2 games. This launch here was great.
man.
Like, look at these games, man. Pilot Wings,
many.
Super R-Type, ActRaiser.
Now, I thought they were going to do they not do the awards with it alongside the review, or is it like later on they have a section where is that how they did it?
Oh, yeah, because ActRaiser should have one, right?
Exactly. Even Super R-Type too, right?
Yeah.
Well, they said 8s across, right? So we also had just before this, technically Shatterhand had all 8s across too.
Yeah.
You're right. I think it was from 32 to 35 or something for the
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to say that maybe they're announcing it in next issue.
They
it'll-
haven't done it? Yeah, because I don't see them anywhere. But
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was EGM later on where they actually just had a section where it's like award sections and they just
I don't
Maybe
know.
it's something that they thought at the end, and then they just wanted to print it to get the hype up. Yeah.
maybe.
No Turbo Love, Jacques. Yeah, during 1991, it's coming to a close for NEC, unfortunately. Not completely, but
They had a
it's
good run.
it's not looking good, man. And then by 92, they brought out the Turbo Duo, and it was no one cared, right? It's unfortunate, but
Yeah, I mean the Genesis and Super NES were so strong back then, right?
well, NEC was a computer manufacturer, and they had Hudson making the games.
Yeah, Hudson. Yeah,
But NEC didn't want to put any money into the marketing. Hudson's like, we don't got any money, man. We're making like almost every game, right? So it's an interesting story about the Turbo. It's I feel like things would have gone different if they just had a bit more dollars behind them for advertising. I really do. I really think that's all it was, because the games were pretty solid, man. They really were.
I was looking on our favorite Facebook marketplace, and I missed it out just by a few mere minutes. But somebody was selling a Turbo graphic system with the Turbo stick, and like all the hookups were like $50. And I was like, for $50.
Dude, that's like $200. Like,
I know. I was like, I have a turbo already, but for $50, I could get another turbo and the turbo stick. But somebody snagged it up like super quick. Obviously,
there's probably like our buddy Ghetto, right? He's an eBay sniper. There's probably like marketplace snipers, man, that just sit there and buy and flip, right? Not saying Ghetto does that. I'm just saying he's good at sniping.
There's people that do that.
Yeah. Super R-Type by Ireme. 8 from Steve. Super R-Type is a hodgepodge of the very best from both the arcade games and a large cup of what? New material thrown in for good measure. It's vintage R-Type with incredible graphics, sharp weapons, and awesome enemies. It's too easy and too short, but the trip is spectacular.
R-Type's so good. I think I like R-Type better than Gradius. They're pretty similar, but something about R-Type I think I like better.
It's so much tougher though. Super R-Type is really tough. I mean, gosh, you died the boss at the start of the beginning. I'm not sure if it's like that for Gradius, but I just think that Super R-Type is like not forgiving at all, man. It's a very tough game.
I'll be a hipster and say Life Force on NES. That's only because my buddy had
Life Force is good.
Life Force.
It's not Super R-Type good.
Is that the one that it flipped horizontal and vertical after every stage? I thought that was super cool.
I think it's all horizontal.
Oh,
I
is
think it's been a long time since I played.
I know Axel was like that. Maybe I'm getting that
Force,
SNES game. Yeah, cool.
Gradius was the same. Josh says, okay.
Do you remember Ikaruga?
Yes.
That's one game I wish more people talk about. That game is fantastic. That's a bullet hell game. But it's so freaking good. Yeah, it was available on the GameCube. I think you can get it on
Dreamcast as well
stuff now.
Yeah.
That game is so fun though. Like switching polarities and absorbing bullet shots for color management, plus like attacking enemies. Oh man, I want that game. I can't go that Nintendo and Super Nintendo. That's what we're sticking to.
Oh, stop! Why? Who cares?
Because if I do too many widespread things, I'm gonna be broke and out of home.
No, you don't have
living
to do
with
that.
you.
You don't have to do that. You just have to. Well, let's tell everybody this. You live downstairs anyway. Let's be honest. Can you grab me a coffee, by the way, when you're coming back? No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
just expand it. If you want a game, get it. It doesn't matter, man. Like, don't set boundaries for yourself. Limits are for suckers. That doesn't mean you have to spend. Doesn't mean you have to spend more money. I'm just saying. No limits. No limits. All right, who's up?
Ed gave it Super R-Type a 8 as well. Easily the best SNES shooter on the market, but it appears that it is too good. What? What? How is it too good? Whether the massive slowdown is due to the slow CPU in the SNES or inexperienced programmers, it is major. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he's thinking it's too good for the system?
Yeah.
Oh, well, at Super Nintendo, the processor was... I mean, play any EA sports game on Super Nintendo. It's brutal compared to Genesis. It just is. Yeah.
Stunning graphics, fantastic weapons, and huge bosses make it a sight to see, though. I would agree with that. Ah, so good.
If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it on Turbo. I never owned the Turbo R-Type. Not my kind of game. The side shooters were never my kind of game, but I certainly respect it for sure. Yeah. Cool. The newest show on Discovery Channel, Jay and the Fold-Out Couch.
Am I the fold-out? I'm on the fold-out couch. It's just me. Jay just walks downstairs and it's just me on the fold-out.
You guys don't know because we're really good at hiding this, but Will and P90 are actually in just different rooms in the house here.
Yeah, Jay lives in a mansion. He's a big YouTuber now.
A mansion. We both moved in for free. We have our families here, our dogs. It's
exactly. Jay was super generous because of you guys.
The Gamer House. We call it the Gamer House. There you go. All right, P90, you're up.
All right, so Martin, I also gave it an 8. Super R-Type is great. The sound to this game is incredible, and the music tracks go on and on. The gameplay is what hurts it though a lot because it suffers from the slowdown. Like Gradius 3, I think Gradius 3 was the worst one for that, and there is some flicker. If this game is played like a Tender Force Sorry, if this game played like Thunder Force 3 on the Genesis, it would definitely get a 9. Huh.
Or Gary's Gyrays. Oh yeah, this is the one we can never pronounce.
Killer. Oh
Gyrays.
my God. Sorry, I thought it was the Genesis.
Dude,
Okay.
no, listen, listen, you said you watched our back catalog, some
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the episodes, right? You understand that reading these, it's not just us. I'm not
No,
the best
man.
reader,
Nope.
but the way it's formatted,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And also, I just French is my first language, so sometimes in English I struggle. So yeah, and then with this background, it's challenging, man.
You do not
Challenging.
sound French Canadian.
Thanks.
You don't have an accent. I love the French Canadian accent. Our buddy
Yeah.
Dargoon has a wicked one.
Yeah, it
just
depends where
saying,
he's from. I'm from Ottawa, right? So I guess Ottawa's really we had to learn English. And Sesame Street, dude, I watched that. That was like my religion back when I was a kid. Remember that?
Yes. That's cool. That's cool. Eights. Okay. Pilot Wings by Nintendo for the Super Nintendo. So old Steve gives it an 8. This game is less of a game than a show-off cartridge of what your Super NES can do.
Mm.
That's pretty accurate for that series. With its scaling and rotation, for the great majority of the game, it's you against yourself in various flying craft testing skills of aviation in a real pseudo 3-dimensional universe. Pretty good. See, that should be like, this is great. A pretty good would be like a 7. Come on, Steve, get it together, man.
I have fond memories of Pilot Wings, though it's not like the best game, but there's some fun modes in this. Like the parachuting, like skydiving one. I freaking love that mode.
The best thing, dude, was the skydiving and not pulling the parachute. That was
just flat
right through like Looney Tunes, right through the ground. It was amazing.
But to be honest, a game like this is the perfect game to rent, right? I mean, you want to play this maybe a weekend, but after that, is there any more replay value? I never thought it was personally. Like, I would have never bought that game personally. I don't know about you guys.
No.
That's true. Yeah. I guess it was more like one of those, kind of like the Wii Sports for the Wii. It was kind of like one of those games that kind of just showed off
Mode 7
the
effects,
system.
right?
Yeah. And like what it could do, the potential of it, I think.
Jimmy Chan over on Facebook, West Coast Love. What's up, buddy? This is for you.
Of the Power Glove. It's so bad.
Yeah, buddy. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Okay. Will. Oh, Ed's going down a bit.
I'd give it a 7. That's not bad.
Yes, it is, but
Seven's good. Yes, it looks good. Okay, that's a good start. And it does things no other home game has ever been able to do. But when it gets down to it, the actual game is rather thin. I tired of the gee whiz scaling. Gee whiz scaling. What the
hell?
rotation.
What's gee whiz scaling?
I don't know. He says gee whiz scaling.
Tired of this gee whiz scaling and rotation.
Yeah, I'm not crazy. He says that. And
I'm
rotation after the first hour, and then started looking for the challenge, which never appeared. Which I think is kind of what we're saying. Like, it has some funny mini games, but there's not much like actual content to make.
It's a tech demo of the hardware. That's all it is. And it's none of these. Well, they're kind of saying it, but that's all it is, and that's totally fine. You know,
which is like probably something before the time, right? Like saying like a tech demo or like a showcase of it.
Yeah. I'm this was never my thing. When I got my 64, the import, I didn't have a choice. It got bundled with Mario and this. And of course we enjoyed it because it showed off what the 64 did. I don't know if I owned this on I did on Super. I would have. It's all right. You know, if the Switch 2 or whatever it's going to be called would come out and it would have Pilot Wings, like I'm good. I don't need to see what the system can do. You know, I can wait for a game that utilizes what the system can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I'll be right back.
All right, P90, you're up.
All right, so it looks like Martin gave it an 8 as well. Pilot Wings doesn't have the graphics and sound that the other Super NES games have, but the game gives a whole new light to flight simulation. I like the different things you could pilot, and the jetpack is my favorite. The best thing about this game are the really cool wipeouts you have. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, like you would do skydiving, and of course you don't pull the chute, right? It's hilarious.
Yeah.
You see, my buddies and I, we used to have we would time ourselves who can crash the fastest to the ground, right?
Oh my god.
It's fun, right? It's just
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you do that in Grand Theft Auto. You fly to the top and then you jump
Oh
out.
my gosh, yeah. So many people do that.
Accidentally, sometimes on purpose, whatever.
That one's a little more graphic though.
Matt says gee whiz is slang. Is it really? Gee whiz. But he's not using it in that context, is he? Let me just go back up to this. I'm tired of all the gee whiz scaling. Does that mean like gosh darn? Dang,
No
no,
idea. Gee whiz.
it's friggin' stupid, man. I'm sorry, it's just dumb. Yeah, JP, September. Yeah, the new Zelda's coming out. It's gonna be awesome. Super volleyball. Oh, the first NHL P90. Look at that. Oh, that's friggin' awesome.
Oh my god. Can I share a story on that before Willie comes back? So
Please
so
go for you.
dude, I'm gonna probably get some slack for this, but basically, believe it or not, I was such a Nintendo fanboy. I to this point, I've never even heard of the Genesis. Not even a word of a lie. My cousin, who is a huge hockey fan, he knew I was a huge hockey fan. Is like, dude, you got to come over. So I went to his place. Never saw the Genesis before, and I saw this game. I think that's one of my best gaming memories. I begged my
Yeah.
parents. We went to Toys R Us, got a Genesis. And this is even funnier. It came with Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm like, what the heck is this? I had never heard
Wow.
of Sonic, dude. So I was playing
Wow.
hockey. And then after a few days, okay, well, this game came in. It was free. Might as well trade out. And I played and I'm like, oh, this is not bad. Then I was thinking, is this kind of like a, and I already thought that this was sort of like a competition to Mario, right? This was Sonic's, maybe this was Sega's mascot to compete with Mario. And then, of course, down the road, I found out that that was actually true. And
Yeah. That's cool, man. That you were.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that you were cut off, but that you didn't really know. That's a really
dude,
interesting.
it was like
especially
Nintendo,
since we're like-
it was just Nintendo because that's all I knew. I had Nintendo
Well-
Power. I had no more other magazines. And that's all I cared for, right?
Shout out to Jet. What's going on, buddy? I want to say, I lost my train of thought there. Yeah, I mean, it was back then. Most people would have one system, right? Like
Right.
you would get your mom and dad to you beg and plead for whatever. And so there was this crazy brand loyalty because you couldn't get all the systems, right? So
There was a
you
lot of
would
money
stand
back then,
behind
yeah.
your system.
Oh, for
And especially Nintendo Power, they had their own magazine. Like that's pretty powerful, right?
that was huge. And I think since I started issue 6 and I had every issue until like 96 or 97, right? So I was a hardcore. I couldn't wait to get home, read my Nintendo Power, read about the latest games. That was good memories, man.
Yeah. Nintendo Power is great. Yeah, I would like to do some of those eventually for sure, but I don't want to go back to 89 again or whatever the first issue was. 88.
Dude, yeah, because you're gonna have like 200 issues or something. That would take forever. Because they
Yeah.
really, I think after a year or two, they released it every month, right? So I mean, that was nuts.
I did
Did
like the
EG
poster. The
Did
poster was
EGM do that, dude? Sorry. Yeah, the posters
Yeah.
were good. Did EGM release every month or was it two?
Yeah.
Okay, was it? Oh wow, that's cool. Wow,
every month,
Yeah.
dude. I was doing 4 mags. I was doing 4 mags a month.
dude, you were
Yeah,
spending
because-
20, $30 a month on those mags back then.
It was at all honesty, I would get a couple bucks for just whatever in like high school, right? It's before I was
Yeah.
working, and I wouldn't spend it on the food. I
Yeah.
would save my money, which is probably not a good thing. That's probably why I'm 5'7", by the way. But
But just curious, like, you didn't subscribe to them because wasn't it
No.
more expensive buying it at the stand?
Nintendo Power, my mom got me a sub for that.
Oh, so
The,
for
o-
that, 'cause that
the
was
other
cheap.
magazines,
Yeah.
my mom was always very supportive in my hobbies, but I think
Okay.
she would have seen it as overkill.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, "Why do you need these magazines when you have this one?"
Okay,
right?
so you okay. I see.
Super Volleyball by Sega for the Genesis. Old Steve gives it a 3. Yeah, I could care less about this one. That's just me, but hey. This game gets a couple of strikes right out of the game. What? Don't you mean right out of the box? Anyway,
Out of the gate or something? Yeah.
out of the gate, yeah.
Yeah,
First, the theme is not exactly at the top of anyone's list. That's opinion, mister. But secondly, the gameplay is entirely two-dimensional, an incredibly bad trait for any sports simulation. It's topped off with control that leaves much to be desired. Blah.
Yeah, I never
I'll
heard of
read
that one.
I'll read
Yeah,
Ed for
sure,
Will.
Sure.
4. Certainly not one of the best games I've ever seen on the system. The graphics are flat. The gameplay isn't fun. It's far too easy and lacks everything. It looks more like a Game Gear cart than one of the Genesis. Nuff said. God, I hate that saying.
Yeah, even the screenshot looks kind of weird, man. Like the way it plays, that looks really weird. Like it's horizontal, It's I don't know.
Well, I just read Ed. If you want to read Sushi X, you can.
Okay.
P90, you're up. Oh,
Yeah, I'll do
Mark
Martin.
gives it a
Martin.
5. There you
Yeah, he's the one who's the most impressed with this. He gave it an average score. I wasn't impressed at all with this volleyball game. I know that is the first volleyball game for the Genesis, but how could they could have done a better job? The game is fun when you first start playing, but it gets old really fast. Because the gameplay is repetitive and easy to master. Okay.
go.
We don't get to read Sushi X very often, so this is kind of a nice little treat.
Which is hilarious because he's arguably the biggest reviewer in the magazine. Which is
That's
funny.
true.
We just skip it. But hey, we started with Steve and Ed, and we're gonna carry that torch all the way.
I feel like maybe we'll going forward, maybe not this magazine, but the next one, maybe like if it's something that's very exemplary or very poor, maybe we'll get Suchi's take on it as well too.
Sure, we can do
I
that.
think that'd be kind of neat, right? Because like if it's something really good, we'd like to have his take, but if it's also awful and they think it's awful, maybe
Yeah.
it'd be nice to throw Sushi in there from time to time.
Sushi.
All right, Sushi, you're up.
Super volleyball is a waste of the Genesis. Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
Gee.
Wow, that's a
Ouch.
Sushi coming out strong.
The hater.
Although the idea is good and the execution is okay, there is no reason that this title couldn't have been in 3D. The 2D perspective take away much of the imagination and causes Super Volleyball to be repetitive and boring.
Oh, golly. Dagnabbit.
Sushi out there with the hard hitters. Jeez.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest games to be released by Electronic Arts is NHL. The first NHL was, I believe, the first of its kind, where we had the NHLPA Association, the NHLP Association attached to it. No, wrong. You had the teams. The
There
NHLPA,
was the teams.
yeah,
Was
PA
the next one.
93.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. And then in 94, I think they finally got both together, if I recall. Something like
94. We got
Yeah.
we got both. But I
Yeah.
was watching hockey because of this game, so I knew the players just by their numbers. This game is fantastic.
that. Amazing game.
So we got 8 from Steve. EA strikes again with another intense sports game that not only captures the essence of the sport it's recreating, but also throws in many video game elements to really make the game explode. Awesome graphics and incredible gameplay combined to make another great EA sports game. EA, it's in the game.
It's in the game.
I miss that saying.
It's like, well, no kidding. Where's it going to be? They're like,
But when that came on, you knew, like, at that point, I feel like that was like quality. You were like, EA Sports, it's
it's in the game.
and you're
And
like,
this is-
yeah.
Yeah, and that's what you hear. And then you hear the killer soundtrack that just starts with this screenshot. It was just like, wow, man. Like, just blown away right off the bat. Then you
Yeah.
play the game, you're like, wow, the checks and the ooh. It was so good.
So good, yeah. Remember, did you guys ever watch the movie Swingers?
I haven't seen it.
Vince Vaughn and John Favreau. It's like from 1995, but they famously, before, it's about just a couple single guys that go out to the bars and try and pick up and stuff, but they famously they always pre-drink, and before they go to the bars, they're always playing NHL 95.
Oh my god, I gotta see that now just for that.
it's so-
I was thinking of Wedding Crashers. That's what I was.
Before, you got to see it. Vince Vaughn and John Favreau, for God's sakes, like, it's two legends right there. It's so
Mhm.
good. But they're always trying to. Vince Vaughn's always trying to make Gretzky's head bleed, and then they
Oh
get
my
into a
God.
real fight. It's so good, man. Because remember, if you hit him hard enough, it was RNG, I think. But if you hit one of the players hard enough,
They would
would
just
fall on the
fall.
ground,
Yeah, out for the
The
game.
ball would
Yeah. Yeah.
out
yeah.
for the game.
Yeah.
And if you were doing a season, out for like 10 games or whatever, it's like, no, Gretzky.
Oh my god.
EA strikes again. It is beginning to look like sports games are their speciality. This is hockey. Better than anything on any system and even the computers. Wow.
Ooh.
EA won the Madden versus Montana football battle. And from what I saw, Sega shouldn't even try their hockey. This one can't be beat. Wow, that's a huge statement. Jeez.
Should have been a 10.
This
Yeah, right?
though, let me just, I'm sidetracking here. Josh is a big movie guy, so nothing really happens, and I'm not defending it. Like, I'm not a super fanboy of it, but I will say the 90s was really great for that, right? Look at Clerks, Dazed and Confused, Kids. You had all these day in the life movies. I friggin' missed that stuff. This is when, like, in my opinion, one of the last times where studios were actually taking chances on original scripts. So I will say it's original. Nothing happens. You're right. But I'm okay with that because it's just fun to hang out with those two guys for like 24 hours. Sorry. Go on. Are we done with NHL? No.
We'll do Martin,
You're
man.
up.
He gives it an 8 as well. Now, this is the kind of sports game I would expect to see on the Genesis. The game is awesome. The graphics are great, and the gameplay gives the effect of actually skating on the ice. They even added a cool extra replay mode that is cool. The replay was awesome, man. I like the rewind mood. Yeah, that was cool. So cool that they added that. It was phenomenal. It was revolutionary back in the time. It was just like nothing. I mean, I was playing Blades of Steel on the NES, and then you play this, you're like, oh wow, can't compare.
I think he meant mode there in the end, but yeah.
Oh.
I see. No, not you. It says mood, but you'll find there's a few mistakes here and there. But yeah, that was cool. You would score a goal, then rewind and do it again, and your buddy would always get irritated. It's like, dude, okay, stop it. It's like, no, man, watch this top right corner. Look at this. It's like, I saw it already, man. Stop it. Okay, what is Arcus Odyssey?
I'll be right back.
By Renovation. Sure, man. Arcus Odyssey by Renovation. Just gonna mute him there for a second. There we go. Will, do you have any idea? I have no idea what this is.
I was just reading about this, but I've never heard of it.
Good and evil, blah blah. Use connection. Huh, interesting. Okay. It's a gauntlet style card. Okay, it's the top down. 5
It kinda
anyway.
looks nice. That screenshot looks nice. It makes me kind of interested in it.
Look at the different scores here. Wow. Steve's becoming a hater, man. He's getting all high and mighty with his Sega CD. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it started with Ed the Hater, but now not.
Take the animation routines from Final Zone and throw in some RPG overtones, and you get this new entry from Renovation. While they've mastered the control problems that plagued the earlier effort, the seek and find theme and lack of real confrontation left me cold. Will appeal to some, however. Okay, 5. So Steve didn't like it. I don't even recall this game, so there you go.
Yeah. Even lost the confrontation, starting to rise in power. Gauntlet style cart.
It's like a top down. Cut through it. The first bit was NES and Super Nintendo. It goes in order, right? So it clumps all the systems together when they review it.
Arceus is a good change from the run-of-the-mill Sega games that have been coming out recently. I like the 2-player version, and that alone makes the game worthwhile. Wow, did his brain break at that point?
There's no editing in that one. It's just like
and that alone makes the game worthwhile. Okay. Throw in plenty of action and funky 3D perspective, and the game comes out good. Control takes some practice. Ed, look at me. You better.
This is not an EA game, but I feel like it's a cardboard box one. It's probably not, but interesting. All right, P90, you're back. You're up.
All right. When I see Arcus, I think of the Arcus, he's one of the best speedrunners for Ninja Gaiden. I think he has the second highest score, so that's kind of funny that I skipped
Oh,
this
cool.
one. Yeah. Anyways,
Very cool.
the game is cool. It has 8 levels. He gave it an 8, by the way. It has 8 levels of 8 meg power, and the graphics are great. You have the choice of 4 different characters and to play from, and I love the 2-player simultaneous mode. The one letdown in this game is that it is a bit too easy, and the end game came much too soon for me. So a short game, and it's on the easier side. Wow, one of the guys gave it a 5, and he gives it an 8. That's interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah, Steve hated it.
Yeah.
Just hated it. We got one Turbo game, one Game Boy game, and one Lynx game. Parasol Stars. I don't think I've ever heard of this one. I don't recall it.
Isn't this like
Working Down.
Bubble Bobble 2 or something? Or no, maybe that's another game. Or maybe that's something totally different.
It looks like Wonder
The
Boy.
character looks similar though. Parasol Stars. I wonder if they had a name change later.
I don't know. Maybe the Google will know. 4 from
Well,
Steve. With Parasol Stars, you get a game that displays some ties to Bubble Bobble and other Taito games,
There we go.
giving you plenty of levels to conquer, and then throws it all together in a package that does very little to create any real excitement. Stars is too repetitive and just isn't much fun.
Okay, so fun little tidbit on this game. It says, so this is made by Taito, same guys who did the Bubble Bobble series. But this is Bubby and Bobby, but re-envisioned as human characters
Oh.
from Bubble Bobble.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So there you go.
Very
So
cool.
it's apparently they list it as one of the games in the series of the Bubble Bobble stuff.
Okay. That's where I got that from then. Huh.
Very cool.
Ed gave it a 7. Once in a while, I like a game that is mindless fun. I don't have to think about strategy and can just plow ahead having fun in the process. The younger players will have a blast with this one, as that seems to be the target audience, not for the diehard action players.
I mean, I'm gonna definitely check this one out. I'm gonna look up some stuff on YouTube because Bubble Bobble is really interesting. I like the Snow Brothers Bubble Bobble style of game. They're a lot of fun. So
Oh, that was so good, man. I used to play at the arcade, and it was cool because anybody could just join you and play co-op, right? And that was something, I mean, you just play with a total stranger, right? And you'd play co-op, not competitive. So that was awesome.
yeah.
All right, so Martin gave it a 6. Parasol Stars, or should I say Bubble Bobble 3, is it not bad of a game? I mean, the graphics are decent and the gameplay is good, but the thing is that makes it so good, it's fun. It really isn't hard, but the length of the game makes up for it. The length of the game makes up for that entirely. Very decent.
Very decent.
6.
What's up, Dale? Good morning. Cool. Might have to check that out more. Castlevania 2 on the Game Boy by the legendary Konami. All 8s. That's pretty good. This is about as good as an action game can get on the Game Boy. Those who are familiar with the original Game Boy version will find a lot in common with the sequel. That doesn't diminish the payoff of the game with rich backgrounds, detailed characters, and fast-paced play techniques. Well said, Steve. Well said, buddy. 8.
Ed also gave it an 8. Don't expect anything new here. This isn't a sequel. It's a continuation of the first game. Virtually everything is the same. That's not bad, as the first was such a great game. Players will like this version as like the first. The gameplay is great, as are the graphics and challenge. I like how the gameplay is great. Like, you can definitely tell it was double spaced between each word.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that it fit it in for the box.
Look at the eye on the end of yours, Will.
Yeah. He hit the character amount that they needed.
Yeah. No, this was a good game. Really much improved from the first one. And what I liked about it is you can actually select your stage, kind of like Ella Mega Man. You know, I thought that was super cool with this.
Oh, neat.
Yep.
Definitely
So
cool.
Martin gave it an 8. The second Castlevania adventure for the Game Boy is even better than the first. There we go. The graphics are top notch. The music is very cool, and the gameplay is awesome with more power ups, hidden rooms, and special techniques. Special techniques than the first. One of the best carts available for the Game Boy for sure. It's probably my top 5 Game Boy games ever.
Jacques got a good question here. Are there any games that came out that you guys really thought will suck, but you actually enjoyed?
I got one that comes to mind.
Yeah, go for it.
Rygar. I think Rygar got a lot of slack on the NES. That was made by the same company that made Ninja Gaiden Tecmo, right? And it was one of the first sort of like Metroidvania games. So I thought, I don't know if you guys played Rygar on the NES. I know the arcade counterpart was really good, but
Well, you
I
betcha.
thought the NES game was super good. It's actually one of my brother's friends that just gave me the game because he thought it was too hard, and he knew that I was a little more hardcore in playing these games. There was no instruction manual, so it was just like, when it's the only game you have to play for like weeks, so you'll play it, and that's what I did. I played it, and it was a great game.
So, Will, do you have one that comes to mind?
I'm trying to think. I really can't think of one off the top of my head.
Do you guys in the chat, do you miss the times where you would go and you'd rent a game, maybe 2 if you got super lucky on a Friday, and you were kind of stuck with the games and you kind of had to play through them? Do you miss those times? We talk about this a lot, but I figure we'll get P90's view on this. I do. I like having that finite number of things to do in whatever particular entertainment that you're pursuing that night. So movies, you have 5 movies to pick from. CDs, you have 10 or 20 CDs, and you got to listen to what you have. Same with games, right? You rented something based on the box art. Maybe you read some EGMs or Nintendo Power or whatever, but you were stuck with it because you know that you weren't going to be returning it and renting another one if you were younger. There's no way in hell your parents were going to let you do that. Do we miss those times?
No.
Will, no?
I do like how easy it is just to like kind of be able to get games I want nowadays instead of having to rely on like renting all the time and stuff.
See, for
But
me, yeah.
I was just going to say, I think it made us appreciate games more. I think now we're so dismissive. I don't miss like physically driving to the store and returning it and stuff like that. Well, sometimes I do, but I miss the fact that it was like, okay, maybe it wasn't like Super Mario Brothers good, but you still played it because you spent your hard-earned money or your parents spent money on it. So that's kind of what you had for entertainment. Like the idea of your choice really didn't matter. Where it's like if you're watching Netflix, you turn this on, it sucks. You turn it off and flick to the next one. Where this was like you had to really put a lot of thought into what you wanted to play for the weekend. I don't know, P90, what do you think?
No, I agree. Especially more challenging games, right? I mean, today, most of us, if we start playing a challenging game, we're gonna die, and then after 5-10 minutes, this game sucks. I don't like this game. But back in the day, you invest a lot of time, and for me, it's not a secret that I love Ninja Gaiden. You guys all know that, and I think I had that game. It was one of the only games that I had. Played it every day, and it was just super cool, just getting better at it. And it was the only game that I didn't care about renting other games, right? So, and I think I bought that game used from a buddy for $20. So that was probably the best $20 I ever invested. I think these days we have too many choices. Sometimes I kind of miss the old days of just you have one game, you play it, you get good at it. I mean, I understand that today's more convenient, but I definitely miss those old times personally.
I guess the only caveat I put into that is like, the Dark Souls and Souls-like games are so huge nowadays. Obviously, super hard, and still people, 100% those games. So I think it's just moved on. I think there's a lot of people that still do it, and it's not the necessity that you have to slog yourself through playing bad games anymore. It's just that you are able to choose the games you enjoy easier today than you used to.
Yeah, I mean, this is this could be an entire show just to talk about this, right? And I love how we just kind of go off on tangents like that. But yeah, there's no right or wrong to it. I was just trying to see what everyone's thought was. We tend to always want what we don't have, right? And the old days are the best and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's tough to say. Sometimes I wish that we just had like the old ways where it's like you have like 5 or 10 games in front of you. Like my buddies and I who lived behind me, like we would trade games.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like just over the weekend, right? Like
Yeah.
you borrowed some of mine, I borrowed some of his, and it was really cool, man. It's like, wow. He had specifically, I remember Castlevania 1, which I never had. And it was like, wow, it really made me appreciate games more, right? Because you had a limited time with it. And it was just cool to experience new things. I don't know.
I could see that.
Jacques
I don't
says,
think there's a wrong way to look at that either way.
Right.
I mean, Will and I are lucky enough to have a store like that in town now. If we really want, we have a store called Jumbo Video that rents games, rents movies, it sells games, sells movies. I would say I don't go there. It's cool to know it's there, but it's far for one thing. It's like half hour from here.
Wait, you can
And-
still rent games? That's
Yep.
wicked.
At this
Wow.
place. Yeah. You
Wow,
step
that's
into
so
this
cool.
place
Yeah.
and it's like 1991. It's
Oh my god.
really, really cool to walk in there. Yeah.
Hmm.
Sorry, Jacques. I used to return it Monday morning before school and then had a sinking feeling hits you. Must wait 5 days before you can play it again. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. There was, I would rent Contra a lot. A lot. We had this place called Nintendo Headquarters. Oddly enough, that's what it was called.
Hmm.
And I still don't know what it was because it wasn't licensed by Nintendo, but they were called Nintendo Headquarters, and they had TurboGrafx games and NES games that you could rent. And I remember going there every Saturday with my Aunt Connie, yes, JT, and renting Contra. And it was one of those things where mom would be like, okay, obviously this is one he likes. Maybe you'll get it for your birthday or Christmas, right? But I'd rent it every single Saturday because it was just so special, right? It's like, this game's not mine, so you just want to get everything you can out of it. That's with a good game. But anyway, we're going off on a rant here. Thank you for the sub. Oh boy, can I say this name? Can you say that? I can't say it. Vaishali. Vaishali. Thank you very much. I butchered
Oh,
the name.
yeah.
I apologize. Thank you for the sub, mate. Appreciate it. Is that the place your Aunt Connie? Well, she doesn't own it. She used to own it, buddy. Come on, get your Bartlett history right. Jesus.
Damn.
Jesus.
Damn.
Okay, we're moving on to Turbo Sub for the Atari Lynx. 7. Steve says, while Turbo Sub boasts some dandy Come on, Steve. While Turbo Sub boasts some dandy themes, the execution of each of the different elements in Turbo Sub is a bit haphazard. Flying above and below the waterline, popping off enemies is cool, but the play mechanics that are employed remain a bit haphazard. He said that twice. Not bad though, but pretty not great. Let's be honest, pretty not great.
I'd liked it a little bit better, giving it an 8. If this is a sample of the new Lynx games that Atari is going to sell a lot of, then Atari is going to sell a lot of systems. Apparently not.
Jeez.
The animation is great and the scaling spectacular. It's about time that the games got better. It's a fun game that controls well. The in and out of water sequence is exceptionally well done.
I can honestly say I have no idea what this. I don't even think I even know what the
Same.
cover of it looks like. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Never even heard of the title. Yeah.
It's just a fast sub. Turbo
Yeah.
sub.
All right, P90.
All right, Martin also gave it an 8. Well, I've been waiting for another good game to come out on the Lynx, and I think this one is it. The best thing about this game is that there are some really neat animation and the gameplay is good, making the game very fun. I hope the guys at Atari will still make more games like this.
Yeah, there you go. Turbo Sub for all you Lynx owners out there. Go get it. Go get it. All right, we're moving on. Moving on. What is this? What is this section? Electronic Gaming Monthly. Vic Telkai present. Oh, it's games that are coming out. Oh yeah, this is new, right? This is release dates.
So they had this for the last little bit, remember?
Yeah,
Because we made fun of like the Turbo and the Master System having like nothing. Like, oh,
There you go. On Ninja Gaiden 3. There you go, P90. I played that the other
Nice.
day. Forget about it. Forget it. Like it's dumb. It's dumb. And I'll tell you why.
Dude, yeah, go ahead. I'm curious.
Because you die and you got to start at the beginning of the stage, not at the beginning of the screen. or the door you just came out
Yeah.
of. You start at the beginning of the stage. So you get to the boss with 2 ticks of health left. You die. You got to start at the beginning of the stage again. Unnecessarily
Yeah.
difficult.
Fun fact. That game is much tougher than the first one. I only beat it for the first. I didn't have that game as a kid, surprisingly, because I guess I got into the SNES. But I played it as an adult and it kicked my ass. I only beat it a few years ago for the first time, and I don't understand. There's limited continues. The Japanese version has unlimited continues. I don't know why they thought it would be a good idea. Hey guys, let's just make the game super brutal hard. Let's put 5 continues. What the heck? Like, dude, it is a tough game, man. Holy crap! I plan on streaming that on my channel sometime, but in the future. But holy mac, it's hard. I agree.
I want it for the box art. Those
Oh,
ones
it's
are
beautiful. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
All 3 are beautiful. Okay, so obviously the Super Nintendo games are coming out. Game Boy, Turbo. Oh yeah, look at Turbo. Just, look at Neo Geo's got nothing.
Ouch.
I feel like Neo Geo's a bit of an anomaly because it's first and foremost an arcade machine, so I can forgive that. But for home console markets, Turbo's got TV Sports Hockey and Yo Bro.
That's the knockoff GI Joe.
Yo, bro.
No, bro.
Facts.
Man.
Oh, Game Gear. I thought this said Strider. It's got Slider. Don't know what that. Oh no. Every time we come to this, I forget about it. I'm like, oh no. Quarterman's essay.
The best time.
Yeah. This is where the reading goes way off the rails here. Quarterman just writes down what he thinks. Okay. He is the man who most often predicts what's going to happen. He's the guy with the insider news, and it always comes to life. It's true. Quarterman's the best. P90, you don't have to read any of this if you don't want. Will and I are going to try and tackle this nightmare. All right, let's just go to the top. Let's just do it. Hold on to your joysticks, boys and girls. The Big Bopper is back with more
Easy,
of the
Big Bopper.
meanest gossip from indie and out the video game world. The Q-Meister gets some help on the international beat this month from Terry Akai, EGM's main man on the streets of Japan, who's got the dirt on the new Super NES CD-ROM drive. Mr. Akai has been researching this one for some time, and it looks hot. It appears that the Big N won't be hitting with their new advanced CDI drive, now being developed by Philips until August of 1992. R.I.P. Zelda. That's when Video Gaming's Megacorp uploads with the new peripheral upgrade for the Super Famicom that many in the known, like me, are saying will spin games into a whole new dimension. Well, pretty much, but it's not a good dimension. How successful Nintendo would be, and initial game titles, however, remain to be seen. Meanwhile, the Q-Man has learned from Terry A that the Sony PlayStation system, so good,
Good as
man.
legend. Did the PlayStation come out 97?
Wait a second. Isn't this 91? What? Foreshadowing?
Man. See?
95,
Wow.
97?
That's what I'm talking about. Sony came to them with the system called the PlayStation, which was a Super Nintendo CD-ROM.
Yes. Phillips, yeah.
You know this story, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's cool, but the name PlayStation, they dropped that a few issues back. I just love
Wow.
seeing this stuff. This dude knew what he was talking about. Quarterman, drop me a line, buddy. Call me. We'll get you on the show. Seriously. I've lost it. Oh, I've lost where I am in this mess. Oh my god, this is like I need a map. Okay, I'm just gonna start from. That's right. That's right, you quarter maniacs. Our buddies across the Big Blue won't ever get to play this nifty new machine. The Sony machine sounds mean, but who's up for the softs? Oh my god. And other CD-ROM news, Sega's new Super CD system, which was recently shown to the US game fans for the first time in last month's issue of EGM, will be getting a shot in the arm from the folks at JVC, who are set to market the dual console that plays both carts and mega CDs. If you know so much about video games, how can you give the SC a 9.5? What a joke. Sega CD.
Hmm.
Might as well just go down to the next one, I guess. Now that the Game Genie has made Bond, and is out on its new own merits. Oh, because of the lawsuit with the Game Genie stuff, right?
Hold the line. Hold the line.
Is that what that is? Is that what he's talking about?
You know what?
Now that the Game Genie has made Bond, it's been bailed.
Yeah, because
out.
there was a
Yeah.
lawsuit against it, right? For Nintendo was having issues with it.
Oh, okay.
The Quarterman has to ask once and for all what Nintendo was trying to protect all of us. What Nintendo was trying to protect all of us good little game playing boys and girls from. Seriously, you may be the Super N against Judge Wapner.
Wapner.
There's no H, it's Wap.
It's Judge Wapner. Trust me, People's Court. Come on, buddy.
I'm gonna Wapner you.
It's People's Court. Judge Wapner. What are you talking about? All right. Anyway.
How's the People's Court?
Oh my God. Never mind. Just keep going.
But the
It was
only
a
thing the
show.
Game Genie. Somebody keep
Like,
going.
Listen, it was like Judge Judy. It was like one of those kind of shows. The judge was Judge Wapner.
Oh,
There we go.
okay. All right. Well, there you go.
Sorry, God.
Where was I before? I was rudely interrupted.
I'm sorry I
Oh,
derailed
man.
the whole thing. I'll see myself out.
But the only thing the Game Genie will do is, do in the Q-Man's opinion, is breathe some new life into games like Chubby Cherub and Iron Tank. Speaking of the Genie, could a 16-bit Sega or Nintendo model be far behind? Dan. Don't take life so seriously. Don't be surprised to see 3D video games very soon in the upscale systems. Well, yours truly must keep his lips locked for now. Rumor has it that a company will be springing such games into the 16-bit market soon. Don't know whether or not you have to wear silly red and blue glasses, but the effects are said to be quite intense. See, that I didn't know what it meant by 3D, and I was like, what?
Like they've tried in entertainment. They've tried to do 3D so many times, and nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
We
remember?
were talking about that on stream last night about the rise and death of 3D TVs.
Oh man, remember going to the Sony store and seeing the 3D TV? We had one at EB and stuff like that. What about? Do you remember the augmented reality stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that card game for PS3? What was that game called? Remember that card game? You'd play, what was that called? Anybody know in the chat?
It was for the PS3, right?
Yeah, and it would be like the chess game in A New Hope, kind of. It was like kind of like that, right? That was the idea.
Yeah.
Anybody remember the 3D card game on PS3? Throw it out in the chat if you remember.
Oh, I'm just gonna look it up.
It's gonna drive me crazy.
And 3DS tried that too, and with the cards, the AR cards, and oh my God, my eyes, my head would just hurt. Like I'm like, dude, I would just shut off the 3D slider. I'm like, dude, no, I can't play this. Even though,
like, I have judgment.
I have judgment. Thank you. Like that stuff ruined movies. Like Friday the 13th Part 3 is almost unwatchable because the shots in it were specifically designed to have whatever come at the camera. Right? It's just terrible. I don't like 3D. That's my point.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But
Yeah,
I
like
will
a
say
third-
that augmented reality stuff was
Yeah.
kind of neat.
Yeah.
Like if they would have done that with like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, or Yu-Gi-Oh, like that could have been a really cool thing where you put down your card and it animates up.
Right.
Because that's what that Eye of Judgment was, right? You position the camera down on the board, and when it would read the AR code on the card, and the monster would appear on screen and their attacks would go. I think there was something there. I think it was just too early for what it is.
Want me to grab this, Jay?
Hey, if you want to read it, man,
Sure, I'm good.
It's like take the reviews and times the difficulty by 10. This is like Ninja Gaiden 3 reading here for this one. Go right ahead.
All right, Atari has finally yielded to the masses and unveiled the Lynx 2. Lynx 2, did that ever come out?
No.
I don't remember that. Okay. Although the company doesn't like to call it that, the Quarterman finds the new device to be totally buff, with new features and a cool look that makes the old model obsolete. Now that they've gotten one piece of promised hardware into our hands, where are the games to go with it? Guess we'll have this. Guess we'll get to see the Star Wars trilogy on our Nintendos as well as on video. The first installment is nearing completion, while the second title, Power Strikes Back, is jamming along. A third game based on the Return of the Jedi is only a matter of destiny. Get ready for another video game show on television this fall. Man, this guy's all over the place. Holy shit! From
It's hard to read sometimes.
Yeah, from the same producers of Video Power, the hyper show starring the kid who acts like he eats too many Cheerios in the morning. Isn't that Johnny something?
You making fun of Johnny Arcade, Quarterman? You mother.
Comes the first game show based around the games themselves.
Yeah, interesting. Sure, everyone's looking to CDs for full screen, full motion video in their games, but the Q-Man sees the sun rising on digitized graphics like the ones you'll soon be seeing in Williams' new Terminator 2 video for the arcade. The machine is buffed to the max. Oh my god. It's like when your dad's trying to be cool and says like bro and stuff like that. Anyway, the machine is buffed to the max with full motion, full screen clips from the movie that are so good it looks like you're watching the movie itself. Believe the Quarterman when you see how much fun it is to blow chunks out of Arnold's head and see intermissions that include footage cut from the movie. You'll be blown away as well. It's new technology pushed to the max that only Williams seems to be able to deliver. Quarterman loved Terminator 2, but I still can't figure out how they got the T-1000 back through time when the only living tissue can be transported. I don't know, man. Terminator fans, what's he talking about? I don't give a lips. Also in the movie, there was another 5 years until Armageddon, but by the film's own timeline, it was already 1995. He's like actuallying James Cameron right here in the magazine. 10-year-old John Connor was born in 85. Sorry, go ahead.
Is he talking about the Williams pinball machine?
I believe he's talking about the dual shooter, the 2 Uzi shooter.
Right.
You recently played that at Tilt.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that great.
Yeah, because all the enemies it's full motion video digitized graphics, right? Don't look at me. It is the time. It's what? That's it this time around, kiddies. Be sure to tune in the same time next magazine and complete scoop on all what's hot anywhere. Quarterman out. Okay, cheers. Jesse, what's up, buddy? How you doing? There was a big Galoob versus Nintendo lawsuit at the time over copyright infringement. So that's probably what the out of bond comment is. Yeah. And I'll talk about that since I think that was the most interesting thing in this Quarterman section. Why does it matter? He says, Quarterman says, why does that matter? Why does Nintendo care? Well, because when you can have 99 lives in Super Mario Brothers, the kid's going to beat it. And then the mom's going to be like, whoa, wait a second there, Johnny Arcade. We just bought you this game and you beat it over the weekend. Mm-hmm. And the kid's going to want another game.
Yeah.
And mom's going to be like, no, your birthday's in November and it's friggin' like May. So Nintendo specifically had guidelines for developers and difficulty was one of them as well. So Galoob being able to hack into the game and give you extra lives, extra power-ups, whatever it was strictly against what Nintendo was about. Plus, you had to be in Nintendo's good books to get something licensed, and Galoob didn't give a lips. They did it anyway.
Yeah, I never liked the Game Genie. Well, some of my buddies had them, but I like the challenge in the game, so I didn't feel it was necessary to have one.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about the Genie? What's up, Duke?
I thought the Genie was cool. I like the Game Genie. I really like the screen where you're implementing the codes and how the letters turned around and stuff. I just like doing that for a lot of it.
It looks so bootleg though, dude. It looks so bad.
It's true, but something about it is
but it is.
I don't know. It's enjoyable though.
That's amazing. There's the screen right there.
Oh wow. That's funny.
It's terrible.
Oh my god, that looks.
Yeah, I love that screen.
What the heck?
I don't know. I love the Game Genie.
Oh. Shout out, not because Game Cycle is a channel sponsor now, but I wanted to tell Will this. I forgot to show you at Game Cycle, Will. They had they have a prototype for kicks on NES, like a prototype cart. How crazy is
That's
that?
cool.
That's probably like the only one in existence, man. Yeah, he's got that. He doesn't know what to price it at.
Oh my god, because that was on the Game Boy, right? I don't think that was released on the NES.
Maybe it wasn't Kicks then. It was
Mm.
it was like a puzzle. I can't remember which one it
Okay.
was. Yeah, it was like a puzzle game
Yeah, Kicks. Yeah.
for NES. Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
got
Oh,
a prototype card. I was like,
Wow.
wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. I want to know the story behind that. Like, how did that end up here?
Like who had it? Where did it go?
Mm.
Yeah, like where the timeline came from that, right? Like like popping up in this city
Yeah.
here, and of all places, compared to like where you would think a lot of that stuff would like kind of
Yeah.
spawn from, right?
Hmm.
I mean,
Like
something
I
like
would innately think like California area where a lot of this is going on, like game development and stuff. A lot of that stuff would be there, right? But like here in Ontario, Canada,
yeah. Was Kicks on NES? It's bugging me now. Let me look.
I'm gonna say no, but you're probably was.
Nintendo Switch, blah blah blah. I don't know. I can't look into that now. Yeah, I don't know. So this is the big lawsuit. This is just going over what we just covered. We don't really have to go through all this, but I guess they won. I guess. There was this big rumor going around back in the day that it would kill the life of your game, which of course it didn't. It made an awful. It made an awful noise. Like anyone who's sensitive to fingernails on a blackboard will know what I'm talking about when it says it hurts your teeth. Like when you put the game on the Game Genie and then pulled it out, it was
screech it
awful.
would make. Yeah.
Oh, like metal on metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I had this thing. I didn't like it. Never did like it. But I certainly think it has its place. I think it's fun to mess around with the games, but I could see Nintendo money-wise and artistically being like, well, if you can't beat Super Mario Brothers given in the rules of the game, then you can't beat Super Mario Brothers. Get better, right? Like Will
There you
says,
go.
get good. You know?
Yep.
you can get over 100 lives in game anyways.
You can, yeah. Josh says London, Ontario is a very video game city in the 2000s. What do you mean by that, buddy?
Very good game city.
There-
maybe? Very,
There's a lot of developers and stuff that are around here now and stuff for sure. But like something like that just seems kind of weird that it would be here compared to like where the main bulk of like where you think the industry is. And Canada alone as well, right? Like, I don't know. We've talked about it how like there's just so much more stuff in the US compared to Canada.
Yeah. Yeah. Our city is good. We had some infamous games like Too Human for 360 that was created here in London.
Warframe,
which is a huge game. BioShock 2, the multiplayer was here.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah, some cool stuff. Slaughter Sport, One Survivor. All right. International Outlook. Games that are coming from Japan. Nostalgia, 1907. Whoa, will you look at that? I did a video about a month ago now on the history of Little Samson and the developers from Taito and ex-Capcom employees. This is one of the games that they made. Nostalgia 1907. So there you go.
is that about the
Pretty cool.
Titanic?
It's like a murder mystery, like not a point and click, but like a story-driven, narrative-driven game. Yeah.
Lunar though, I freaking love Lunar.
Yeah. Interesting. I've never played a Lunar game.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, never played it.
Great RPG.
Yeah, I think it was really popular in the Game Boy Advance as well. Yeah, never played it myself.
Yeah, they had the Silver Star story that they released on the Game Boy Advance.
Nobunga versus Ayusha. Ernest Evans. I don't know any of these. I don't know if they came here or not. Oftentimes we get title changes, so I'm not too sure.
I know the new Nobunaga games have been over here before.
Yeah, I was going to say that. That rings a bell for sure. And
yeah, but this one, there's no Bunga's Ambition, stuff like that, or no.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Ninja Gaiden.
This one's on the list. I just want A like theatrical size poster of this,
Ugh.
please. Thank you.
That'd be sweet.
Like it's all about that box art. How did P90? How did the Ninja Gaiden 2 go? I tuned in. You said, "Man, this is like way harder than I remember."
Yeah, well, that's the game I probably practiced the least. Yeah, I finally beat it, but there's definitely a lot for me to relearn in that game. It's totally different. It plays so different than the first one. I really prefer the first one personally, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
They're both good though, obviously. Yeah.
Konami Game Boy, Konamic Golf. What? So Konami tried to have like their own brand. That's interesting. I don't remember this at all. I don't know if this came over here. Konamic Golf. Huh. Raiden Trad. I love these old ads, man. This is great. 1991. Oh, here you go.
Dragon River 3.
Look at that poster. That would have been in my room for sure, man. And
Yeah, that looks so good. I love the Dragon Warrior box arts are always good.
Oh yeah.
Enix. Yeah, this is a double poster. Yeah, half ActRaiser, half Dragon Warrior. That's sick. Love it. Super Famicom times Defender of the Earth. Oh, this is the EDF one.
Yeah.
Defender of Earth. Earth Defense Force. Gotcha. So this is where that 360 game started from? Or is it a different game? The Earth Defense Force, I think we're thinking of, they're fighting bugs. It's almost like Starship Troopers kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know if this is like the same series or not. It was just, but
Yeah.
no,
Same-
because Jalico doesn't control it. I think Sega publishes the Earth Defense Force stuff now.
Yeah, I don't
I don't know.
Wish I had more posters. Yeah, there's always eBay, buddy. There's always eBay. Yeah.
And there's ways to get like if you want ones that aren't actually around, you can always have them made for you too, right?
Yeah, there's lots of third-party ones that will do the art but not put the title so they don't get attacked, right? Some of the artists too that actually painted a lot of this stuff sell prints. Like for instance, Mark Erickson from Mega Man, the Western Mega Man stuff. I think he used to sell prints, but it didn't say Mega Man or Capcom or anything, right? It's just the art.
Yeah.
So there's ways to get that stuff. Yeah. Next wave. Any Super Spy Hunter fans in the house?
I never liked those games.
Nope. Me neither. Definitely not. P90s.
The Spy Hunter movie with The Rock.
I used to love the Spy Hunter original arcade game. I thought that was great, especially with that controller. I don't know if you remember that. You drove the boat in the car. That was awesome.
Yeah.
But never played the NES game though. This one here, Super Spy Hunter, never played it. I think it's on NES Online, so I could probably check it out at some point.
Will, you're thinking of the PS2 game. Was that a movie, or I think they just got The Rock in the game?
I thought there was an actual movie.
Was there a movie of Spy Hunter? Really? Check it out. Google foo. Hua!
Yeah, Spy Hunter, Nowhere to Run.
Movie? Oh my god, that might have to go on the list of video game movies because I don't even remember that.
Spy Hunter was who was to have been the main character of the movie. Film got stuck in. So it was a movie in development, and then the movie got canned.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember it coming out, but I remember that cover. That was one of those ones that came through at EB, and we just looked at it and we're like, nah, nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
but there was a movie in development, and he had done some shooting for it, but yeah, it got canned.
Okay.
And then the game still came out.
Here's Jellicle. Game was squashed. I don't recall this one either. I like this because there's so many of these I don't remember. Oh, look at this ad for Cartridge King.
Kickmaster was actually a good game.
Yeah.
I rented that one. Yeah.
Taito, I feel like, is one of those companies that's so good, but they don't get talked about as much as like Capcom and Konami, and I would say even
Definitely
Capcom.
overshadowed.
Yeah, they don't get talked about a lot, man. They've made a lot of good stuff. Totally Turbo, your source for Turbo Graphics. Let's see some of these prices. You can get a Turbo Graphics from this store here for $100. The CD-ROM for $299. What's the arcade stick is what I want.
The Turbo Stick, $39.99.
There you go. It's a pretty good deal. Pretty good deal. There's our Parasol Stars.
Here we go.
Starflight Marvel Legend. What? Marvel Land. I can't read. Starting to go blurry.
Starting to go
Whoa.
dark.
Look at
There's
that kid.
there's
Look at that
JT right there. Look at him. I didn't know he was in an ad. This is amazing.
Damn.
AT, why didn't you tell us?
Yeah, man. Why didn't you tell me? Keeping it portable was tough until now. Listen, let me tell you something, okay? Let's just call this what it is. If you wore that
Oh man.
bag, you got punched in the face. I'm
Oh,
just
for
telling
sure.
you right now. Like, come
You'd
on.
use that bag to block people from punching in the face. That thing was a brick. I had one of those.
Dude. I mean, look at that peripheral on the Game Boy. That's like the magnifying glass is probably like that.
Yep.
Oh my god. Probably super heavy to hold with the 4 batteries.
The kid is so excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of this.
The Power Glove. It's so bad.
It's like on that level.
Yeah.
Or those ads for, I can't remember the shooter, but it was like the world's first like professional gamer, or one of the world's first professional gamers. That guy. Dixie, what's going on? How you doing? No way, that was the coolest kid in school.
Eesh.
I mean, to us, yes. To me back then, to have this thing, dude, see, this is what I'm talking about, where you're taking games to the next level, where it's like you feel like a professional. You know, you don't feel like you're just playing games, like you're like a professional playing games. This would be the cool thing. But if you took this to school, you're going to get punched in the head, and someone's going to take your Game Boy, and then your mom's going to punch you in the head when you get home. So it's just like, it's not worth it, man.
Mommy, no.
It's just
bought
kidding,
this
you
for
never
me.
got the Game Boy. The Game Boy system, whatever, $200, then all these accessories add up to like $5 million. There's so many accessories for this thing.
And you can barely see the screen. You need perfect lighting. Oh man.
Duke says that the pink shirt's pretty cool. Obviously, it's pretty sick. Mike Ditka. Yeah, so and celebrity sports star endorsements was huge during this time. Who's Mike Ditka? Bears? Anybody? I don't know who he is. He's a coach. Anybody? Someone help me. You guys know? Nobody knows.
I don't know no football stuff.
I know Madden and I know Joe Montana, but I don't know who Mike Ditka is. Oh,
I just
Chicago
know
Bears.
hockey.
He's a coach. Cutthroat. He looks like
Okay.
a coach.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nerd shoves the kid into the locker. Yeah, dude. I think he's a coach. We got what's Turbos? Oh, that's the Atari Lynx game. Checkered Flag, which looks pretty decent. See, look at Checkered Flag for the Lynx, and then look at Fastest Lap for the Game Boy. You would think that just from comparing those two screens there, that the Lynx would just crush the competition, but hence it fell by the wayside and the Game Boy succeeded.
It's all about software, man, and
Yeah.
marketing. Yeah.
And it just shows like having a Nintendo lives by this still to this day. Having the most
Portable.
powerful system does not make you the best.
Nope. Exactly.
Look at the Switch, man.
You've definitely learned that over the years, right?
Yeah.
JT with the $10 super chat. Thank you, my friend. I'd rather take a punch from my mom than Jay's Aunt Connie. That woman hits like a freight train. Randy's mom.
Or Aunt Connie.
Poor Aunt Connie and Randy's mom. Well, they used to go to arcades back in the day, but that's for another stream. Oh my god, look at this. Light Boy is bound to attract attention. Okay.
Oh my god.
Will, we're getting towards the end. Should we put a poll up? Bishu or no Bishu?
Yeah, see what people think. We're going to see more Bishu. We didn't see a Bishu last magazine. Disappointing.
Yeah, that's the company that makes the weirdest controllers, right? I remember seeing that in some of your episodes, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean it's like
Wow.
Atari 2600 controllers, like the stick, but for
Yeah.
NES, it's like, dude, look at the NES controller and then look at the Atari controllers.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted a Bishu. I'm just saying.
I never even heard of them back in the day. I can't remember seeing one for sale, or if I definitely didn't know anyone who had one. What about you guys?
I don't know anybody who had one.
Okay.
Yeah, because that would have been traumatizing for them. This ad's pretty cool. Bob Coley?
I don't know. Is he an actual football person?
What was his autograph here? I hope he's somebody. It's just
Yeah, but I can sign a piece of paper too, and I'm a
it's like
nobody.
somebody just
Yeah.
wrote on there.
Yeah,
And
could you
then
imagine?
they'd
Yeah,
be like, "Oh, Bob, Golly, my favorite.
yeah,
Mom, I need the Game Boy Light," and there's no such person. They just signed the paper.
yeah.
Well, do you remember him today?
I assume it's this guy. In the
What if
center.
it's the guy on the right? I don't know.
Look at the guy on the right's got that badass like spiked fade. It's pretty
Mhm.
sick, man. Pretty sick. Tricks. We always skip over the tricks. Oh, look, there's the guy I was talking about. The pro.
Yeah, this guy. Yeah.
The
The mullet.
Gyrie's guy. Look at this guy, man. Gyrie's is number one. Take home a free t-shirt when you purchase Gyrie's for the Sega Genesis.
Nice.
This is the
Guy
guy.
or us?
Gyrie's.
Oh, it says right there. Okay, read the shirt. Can you say Gyrus? And then it has it down there. Guy or us? Guy or us?
Guy or oh my god. Yeah.
Gyrie's. They're wrong. Wrong.
Wow.
What is that? What is that? Look at the top right. New precision control systems. Oh my God. What the hell is that?
Oh my
It's like-
wow.
It's like a vinyl slab and you stick like the B-shoe zinger in it.
Huh.
Oh my God. I got to take a photo of this so I remember. This is like weird peripherals that we're always so fascinated with. I'm taking a photo of that so I remember.
Can
Dude, that's
Imagine-
so sick.
you imagine finding that on eBay? God. Wow.
Did you see that Atari slab of wood that I put in the Discord?
Yeah.
That I couldn't find any of those on eBay, and that's a real thing that was sold.
Wow.
Are you sure? It feels like it looks like it's somebody just made.
It's not, man. It's
Hmm.
not. Facts. It's not. We're skipping through all the tricks still. And that thumb thing was real. Here you go, Cutthroat. Here's a Turbo Champ insert. Let's go. Let's go.
No games. Ah, great.
Jock, thanks for hanging out, buddy. Enjoy your dinner.
Have a
Have a
good
good
one, John.
dinner.
CD Power, High Tech Gaming. So high tech, there's 3 of them. I guess that means it's better.
Jay had the chance to buy one of those. He turned it down.
Yeah, the unreleased episode of us at Toy Rat, we saw one for $7.99 Canadian. Yeah, it was there. It was all lonely. It was waiting for Will, but Will's like, I don't care enough about TurboGrafx. And he's like, he's trying to spit on it and stuff. I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? We're in public.
But
it
how often
came
do you
from
see
it as a-
Turbo CD games? You barely see Turbo games as is,
Yeah.
but Turbo CD?
You don't. You just don't. You don't. But I mean, $7.99. I can't do it.
That's a lot of
A
money.
lot.
That's a lot. Let me throw it to you here. Everybody in the chat, and we'll throw it to P90 and Willie. Okay. Here you
Good
are
stuff.
in the wild. You have enough. Just say you have enough money that it's not gonna do anything in your bank account. So you got enough to buy the Turbo CD or the Turbo Express. What would you get? Oops.
The Express.
Yeah,
You're just-
I'm actually a big big portable fan. So for me, it would be the Express.
You get the
Oh.
Express? Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's no, he did. I'm just joking.
Trying to ruin my reputation around here, Jay. Jeez.
It was in glass anyway. It would have just bounced off. It reflected off the glass. Oh, what is this? Oh, we get a free, look at this, free CD plus G sample disc with
wow.
artists such as Bonnie Raitt, Fleetwood Mac, and
There we go.
Magic Flute. Yeez 3, Valus 3, Magical Dinosaur Tour. Again, we kind of like look at the not Yeez, but we look at the other ones. We're kind of like, it's not a big deal. But these games were huge, man. Like,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. But East 3 was a great game. While I played the Super Nintendo version, it was just great soundtrack, great game. Yeah, it was a good rental.
These seed like TurboGrafx, like I've been babbling on about for like a month. super rare to find back then, super rare to find now. And then you add the CD-ROM element to it, and like
Yeah.
Will said, it's like forget it. Like try and find Street Fighter, which was one of the flagship games on the TurboGrafx CD. Forget it, man. Like you're just not going to do it, right?
It wasn't Rondo of Blood, but I think that was only the Japanese version. I think that was in the PC Engine CD, right? If I recall, but that was an amazing game, man. That was
The prequel,
that was yeah,
the prequel to Symphony of the Night, which I didn't
exactly.
know until like last week. I had no idea.
Yeah. I got that on the Wii. The Wii Virtual whatever.
Yeah.
We were so that's one of the reasons I'm keeping my Wii just for that game or a few other games as well.
So you can access that without being on the internet. Like it's just downloaded, right?
Yeah, it works for me.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. It's on the TurboGrafx Mini as well.
Cool.
The Rondo of Blood, yeah.
Rondo's
60
good.
games? Yeah, it's sick, man. Look at this.
Dude,
This
that looks
thing's
like a
beautiful.
sick system.
Listen, I would pick the Turbo CD. I just would. But this thing is, I would love to have this. This is awesome.
I just think practicality wise, like we were just saying, like I would probably at least get a chance to use my Turbo Express, where the CD I would probably never be able to actually use it unless I just listen to music off of it.
Yeah.
Let's get even more hipster and say, let's go for the Turbo TV tuner. Like, would you even know what that was? Like, how would you even know? Look at that thing.
I'm sure people that thing probably got chucked into the garbage.
Oh my god. Wait, so if you connect that, you could actually listen to TV on your
You would watch TV.
you watch
because
TV, that's what I mean. Oh my god. Wow. Why would you want to do that? I guess
Well, back in the day, people had like portable televisions that go out
Yeah.
like camping and stuff, right? And you could pick it up off of the old towers, but now it's not. You can't do that anymore. They shut that down years ago, right?
Yeah.
You don't get those frequencies anymore.
Like these, like NEC had all these really great ideas, right? But it was a rich man's game. Unfortunately, it really was, right? Like it's kind of what happened with Sega, where I talked about this yesterday, but when Tom Kalinske came in and brought his toy experience to Sega, it didn't really translate well, right? Having the different price points for systems like 32X and the Saturn, it didn't work. Same with Turbo. They brought out so much. Like they brought out the CD very shortly after the system launched. So your mom and dad buys you a Turbo. Well, all of a sudden it's not good enough. Now there's this thing, right? Like that's mistake number one. You don't do that. Let the system breathe for a while. But I mean, like Sega did it perfectly. The Sega CD came out in 92. Genesis was 89. There's 3 years. Perfect, right? Oops. Oh, God. I went crazy there. Okay. Here's what the experts are saying. I can't even read this, and it's blown up. Look at these. These are like reviews to trying to sell you. This is what I'm talking about, right? Like the Turbo was going down real fast, man. Like in modern gaming, when you have a quote on the box that says like from the developers of Halo and Destiny, that's never a good sign. Or like, you know, better than Halo or something. That's never a good sign. I feel like that's what this whole ad is here. Trying to like tell you, oh, Bonk's Revenge is great, says Electronic Gaming Monthly. Bravo Man is awesome, says Game Players. You know, that's.
But as a kid, dude, like as if you're gonna even read that, you'll be like, yeah, whatever. I know. I'd probably just.
I would have never read
this.
Yeah. Tidarium Hanger, what's up, mate? How you doing? Look at that picture, beautiful. Turbo Express is the best ever, better than the Nomad. That's a hot take. That would be Genesis versus Turbo, right?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I would take a Turbo Express any day over the Nomad, purely because I'm a Turbo fanboy. Plus, it's also much more rare than the Nomad. I love this. Look at all this Turbo love. Look at that picture of Bonk. I miss Bonk. Bring back Bonk right friggin' now.
Who owns the license to Bonk now?
Konami.
Does Konami own it?
Konami bought Hudson Soft, I think, in 2012.
Huh.
That's why the Turbo Mini that came out, it says Konami on the box. I was like, what? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we'll never see a game then.
They have the rights to all the Turbo stuff. Yeah. All the Hudson stuff, at least, which Bonk is. So Bonk never got a 3D game either.
That's probably for the best.
He never made the jump into 3D. It's too bad. Yeah. Sega did not do that perfectly. They had time between the Genesis and Sega CD, but the time between the Sega CD and the 32X and Saturn, yeah. Matt said it perfectly. Too much hardware too quickly. You had the 32X, which was, again, the toy mentality. This is my opinion. That's not fact. Okay, this is my opinion on what happened. But yeah, the toy mentality with a cheaper alternative for parents to get a 32-bit system instead of spending the $400 on a Saturn. You could do a 149 upgrade, which parents also liked, to your Genesis to get the same graphics. Of course, it wasn't even close to the Saturn, right? But then you had 32X games, 32X CD games, and so on. It was just too much. Too much. Look how great Bonk looks. Look at this. Beautiful colors.
Bonk was a great mascot. It just, unfortunately, just on the wrong system, the wrong time.
Yeah, absolutely. Too bad. But like I said, dude, Turbo is aged like fine wine. Like it's weird how it just gets better. Maybe it's my nostalgia. But seeing those games, dude, that we did at Brody's was really something special. Like that was really, I haven't seen that many Turbo games together since probably the 90s.
Well, maybe we'll make a stop back at Brody's on the way back.
Maybe we just do Brody's Part 2, Adventure Island. One of us has to get that Adventure Island. Or we can split it because it's ridiculously priced.
Yeah, I'll have it Monday, Wednesday, Fridays.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll take it Tuesday, Wednesday, Sundays. Wait, whatever.
We'll alternate every
Tuesday,
Saturday.
Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Bomberman, of course, fantastic. Battle Royale, I never played. Kadash, you ever play Kadash? Anybody? That's a cool action RPG. It was a very, very popular arcade game back in the day.
Turrican's good. It's like a Contra clone type of thing.
Yeah.
I haven't heard any of these. Rift War Saga.
Oh, there's
Hurricane,
the
Dash,
Parasol Stars, which keeps.
Yeah, it's getting a lot of exposure.
It's very colorful. I kind of like how vibrant that like all the screenshots are.
Dale says, I'm happy that we're getting Konami collections like Castlevania, Turtles. Yeah, we also got a Contra one, which is nice. Limited Run put out a couple physicals of those, which is good. JT loves Kadash. Yeah, it's great. That's a game to get for Turbo, buddy. TJC says I played Turrican on the Commodore 64. Nice, nice. Turbo Kids. Darkwing Duck. As made famous by Angry Video Game Nerd, Darkwing Duck is terrible on the Turbo.
It's a shame because the NES game is fantastic.
Yes. But Capcom did not do this for. I don't know who made Darkwing. Does it say here?
There's that Yo Bro game. Yo
Yo,
Bro!
bro. There we go.
Look at this picture on the bottom left. Who remembers sitting down playing games on the floor like this?
Oh my god, dude. That was for sure.
Right?
Yeah, the turbo controllers, like the cables aren't very long on them.
No. And another thing they shot themselves in the foot with, one port. So you had to buy the Turbo Tap if you wanted a mere 2-player experience. What's up with that?
I got one of those turbo taps.
You do? That's awesome, dude. Give it. It's Chad has arrived. I'm late, but I'm here to spread the awesome. And spread
Chad.
the awesome, you do, my friend. Good to see you, buddy. What up? Ooh, look at this screen. Oh my god. I'm writing all this down.
Yeah, see the turbo
Turbo
tap.
Booster. The booster, we saw that at Toy Rat 2.
Yep.
That gave you stereo sound, and I think there was a separate one that also gave you the audio video connection, which was strange, but there it is. See, again, this elite kind of stereo adding on to the system was just too much for.
I was gonna say, dude, that back in the day, you had to be rich to own this, man. That must have been like over $1,000 now, even more, right? That's crazy.
Very,
It's
very
expensive.
expensive. Yeah. And again, when the NES had audio video on it, come on, like, you know. Cutthroat says, I'm in TurboGrafx heaven. Yeah, this is one of those nice inserts that they're talking about. We got a Turbo one. Oh, dude, this
So
is
good.
like, I love it. Look at all this greatness. All right, we're going to play a game. Let's play a game. We got about 15 minutes left in the stream. Let's play a little game with this beautiful mural of TurboGrafx games. P90, WillLo, and the chat. You guys can pick one game on this. What would you choose? And yes, in the bottom left, that is Street Fighter. They called it Fighting Street. I don't know why. Capcom didn't do it. It was ported over by NEC, but it is Street Fighter 1. Anyways, if you could pick one game, what would you pick?
I think I still have to go with Blazing Lasers.
Out of everything here, I'm just saying. Blazing Lasers? That's fair?
I think that'd be one I'd really like to play. I'd play that regularly. I still like Blazing Lasers.
Now, P90, I know you said you weren't very familiar with the TurboGrafx.
But one of the games I did play and I did like was Devil's Crush. I remember playing that virtually, and I thought it was one of probably my favorite pinball game, virtual pinball game of all time. I think the soundtrack's good. It's just a fun game. I was surprised by that game.
Yep.
I'd like to find that one.
Alien Crush and Devil's Crush. Well, we saw Devil's Crush at Brody's. Oh,
yeah, but I wasn't ready to spend that type of money. I just eventually I had like.
No. What you're doing is you're saying only Super Nintendo and NES. We got to break that. Break that. Break it. Stop it. Splatterhouse is on there.
I have all those nice boxes now, and they all look the same. It's
just
nice.
keep going. We're gonna break that habit.
We were talking about this, so as much as I like the Turbo stuff as well too, but it suffers from that issue where you just have that jewel case.
Well, there was a box.
There was boxes, but those are even more rare.
Yeah, you can get sleeves, dude. Brody had them, so I'm sure Amazon probably has them. They're not
just don't seem as cool as like the actual boxes.
Oh, you just mean the jewel case design, like we're talking about PS1 games, how it's not that exciting. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree. And the Turbo has the fatal flaw on the design of the jewel case where there's an external sticker on the spine that will name the game, and that is really hard to keep intact. There's a lot of Turbo games on the spine where it's just rubbed completely off. Butterslayer says Mario World. Hey, no Mario World on here, mister.
Dude.
Could you imagine?
I will pick Splatterhouse, obviously.
Splatterhouse is a good pull. Like that would be my second choice if I had to.
It's on here twice.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say that. That is on there twice for whatever reason. Dragon Spirit, also a good game.
Super Gaming, the complete maps and strategies for Altered Space. Very cool. Again, so stuff like this. I know Nintendo Power is famous for doing maps, but EGM did that too. And I just love this stuff. This again made video gaming look more than like just games, right? It's like, wow, these guys love games so much. They're dissecting it and creating maps. Like you really had to love something to do something like this. So I was always a big fan of this.
Wow, that's wild.
Whether you needed it or not, it was cool, right? It was cool. Jet Air Zonk is great. Yes, you did hit me up on socials. I'm going to answer all my social stuff tonight. So yes, I did get your message, my friend. Yeah, this stuff is just awesome. Look at this game, man. Look at that. That's cool. So cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like these. I this one's kind of weird because it has like those. I think it's neat that they paste it together like this. But I think I like the continuous like run one when you can for the side scrollers a lot better. The look. I understand why they did it for this one because
it's like a map, right?
Each map
exactly.
comes up.
Yeah.
But I like the side scrolling look of the maps better when they do it.
Telling you which way to go. Yeah, I agree. And I used to my bedroom used to be dawned with those maps, man. It was just like, I don't know, man. I felt like I was studying for something. Anyway, I'm way too drunk with nostalgia when we read these magazines. I apologize.
There's something coming up that looks really cool. That
you're not supposed to go ahead. That's one strike, mister.
Sorry. All these maps, they all started looking the same. They're blending together.
That's a lot of coverage for that. But...
That is a lot for a Game Boy game too. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
This is a Sony game too. This is a Sony game. That's cool. Okay, something coming up that's cool. Will says, "All right, everyone, hold on to your butts."
Ta-da!
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
But
Oh,
look
that's
at
cool.
look at the middle there though. Those characters, like early
Hmm.
stage Dr. Eggman or Robotnik, how you
Mhm.
want to call it, like
Who's
that
the
stuff is really cool.
who are the two dog characters? What is that?
Finalists for the pick the contest. There are 100 different entries, 4 finalists, including a bulldog in there. So this was like a contest that looks like they ran to get like characters,
Sonic the Wolf.
ideas for Sonic.
Wow.
But
So
also
cool.
like that clay figure in the bottom right, like how cool would that be to have that?
Oh,
Mm.
dude, it would be crazy.
I don't.
Um,
We've talked about it. Like both of us don't really care a lot for Sonic, but stuff
Yeah.
like this is really cool.
Of course, yeah, of course. What's up, K-Mac? How you doing, buddy? TJ says I used to draw maps for the games I played, especially on Commodore 64 and Amiga. That's cool, dude.
My dad used to play like Ultima and stuff like that. And do you
Yeah.
remember the old was it called ribbon printers back in the day? And they had like the grids on them and stuff. You would just take that paper and literally draw boxes and like areas and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah,
Because they didn't have maps for those, right? So he would make his own maps to mark out where he's been and like mark it up with like legends and stuff. It was like hardcore. But I kind of miss those days when you'd have to do that.
yeah.
I'm
It was.
yeah.
I miss the days of Strat guides. I mean, Strat guides have been extinct for 5 years, maybe.
Yeah.
I
No, they
miss
still
those.
release some strategy guides.
Do they? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I
Final
just-
Fantasy 16 had a strategy guide.
I think EB just stopped carrying them. That's why maybe I thought,
Well,
Pringles was
because
another one that they were-
when we worked there, do you remember the piles and piles of freaking strat guides that eventually we'd have to rip the front covers off and just huck into the garbage because nobody wanted them?
Oh my
It
God.
was rough. It was rough. So JP says Sonic is top shelf. Wrong. I'm just kidding, buddy.
Sorry, JP.
I'm actually surprised. I'm definitely not the biggest Sonic fan as well. And every time I stream and they talk about that, people are like, "Dude, you should play more Sonic." It's just not my thing. I guess I'm more of an explorer guy. So playing a game that you're running super fast, you get hit, you lose all your rings. I don't know, man. Never appealed to me. I admire it, but it's just not my thing. I guess.
I would take Mario over Sonic any day,
Oh, of course.
hands down. But that's because like I grew up with that. I just
Same.
don't think
Yeah.
Sonic plays very well personally.
Exactly. Same here.
So this is interesting. Everyone knows in the chat, all the regulars know I'm the hipster gamer. So I like characters like Alex Kidd. And if you look at the bottom here, I don't know if you guys can read it. There's the hedgehog. It says the first appearance of a porcupine, or it's porcupine, was in the Genesis game. Was in a Genesis game. It was in Alex Kidd.
There you go.
And
And he's blue.
yeah, and Alex Kidd was Sonic or Sega's mascot until Sonic came. Sonic's a cooler character than Alex Kidd, I'll admit that, but it's really cool to see like how that started, and maybe this was like the beginning of Alex Kidd being fired as the damn mascot, man, by Sega.
Rip.
Like, look at this guy right here. Sonic's not cool. I'm sorry, he's not. He's just not, man. His music's great.
Yeah, Sonic. We've talked about this. Sonic music is fantastic.
Mhm.
Yes,
Oh, for sure.
absolutely. Absolutely. We got maps for Shatterhand.
See, like that top map there.
Yeah, this is
Like
great.
putting that together, that is so good.
Yeah, okay. So what I mean by that is anyone who plays Sonic 1 knows you get going fast, which is great. You go through all the tubes and stuff. It's fun. And then like in an instant you hit something and it's just like momentum is done. That's the thing
Yeah.
I don't like.
Exactly. Yeah.
I
That's
agree with
the
that.
thing I don't like. Mario, most of us play Mario. We hold B down now, right? You're always running, right, in Mario, but you hit something, you're dead. It's different than Sonic. And I agree with the rings. I didn't like the collecting of the rings thing, although it was pretty original. I just didn't like it. It had Michael Jackson music. Really? How so? How so? I'm a Sonic hater. Well, I don't hate.
I heard there was rumors that Michael Jackson had worked in like with the music team for Sonic 2, but I don't know if that was ever actually confirmed. I'm curious if we find out now, but I do remember hearing that back in the day.
Michael was a huge gamer, man. Huge gamer, right? So, in fact, I'll get up and I just want to play show and tell. Well, I'll put on something interesting for you here. There you go. You can talk about Trog. How does that sound? That sounds fun.
Well, that sounds awful.
Never
I
even
mean, that
saw
sounds great. Trog. Look at the dinosaur. Who doesn't love dinosaurs? P90, do you love dinosaurs? What's your favorite dinosaur, P90?
My favorite dinosaur? T-Rex. Yeah.
Yeah, T-Rex?
Yeah.
I go with the T-Rex. T-Rex is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I do like the Triceratops. I always thought Triceratopses were cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you had stuff like this, right? Like look at that, man. It's so
Moonwalker. Wow.
friggin' awesome, man. Moonwalker. It's so good. Like he was a huge gamer, and of course he had the arcade game as well,
Yeah.
which was very, very different as isometrical view. Some say it's better. I don't know. It's also 3 players, which was strange. But Moonwalker, man, I'm telling you, I love Michael.
Does
I
it have
love
the
him.
original music on it? I assume it does. Like some Michael Jackson music on it.
It does, to the point
Oh, cool.
where, like, if you stream it, you'll get a notification after.
Oh
that.
wow.
You're-
Oh, wow.
Wasn't there
you're,
something
I
too
remember-
about that where they had to change it in later versions as well too? Like something with one of the
Licensing,
music licensings that had to be
I
changed or
think
something.
so. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
That is one game. So we've talked about it before, but I haven't played very many Genesis games, and Moonwalker's one that I haven't played before either because like I just never really had a Genesis.
See, this is what I'm saying. So I'm thinking you need to expand. Let's you're gonna do NES and Super Nintendo games. Let's open that. Let's open that up. Let's put Turbo and Genesis in there as well. What do you think? Does it sound like a good idea?
If I was to add in another system to start hunting for, I would probably go with the Genesis over the Turbo right now. Just because, again, it's that same thing. I just think the boxes look way cooler.
The Western art for Turbo games is brutal. Brutal, especially
The jewel
launch
cases
titles.
don't hold a candle. Like, I don't know. Like, hold on.
So while we're waiting for Will, Matt says Michael Jackson collaborated on Sonic 3 soundtrack, but his name wasn't in the credits. Oh, thanks, buddy, for that.
Oh wow.
Like on the
Yeah.
shelf,
AP, thank you. Interesting.
comparatively, like having this in the case, like here's Blazing Lasers, right?
Cool.
Yeah.
Looks cool. It's
Mhm.
nice. But then, like, if I have this on the shelf, Dragon Warrior, bam.
That's
Doesn't it? It just stands out so much more.
not fair
How's that not fair?
because that Blazing Lasers also has a box. You're missing an element.
Yeah, but how often do you see the turbo boxes?
But you're not. You're comparing a complete game to an incomplete game. That's not fair. Not fair.
But yeah, but how often do you see those turbo boxes?
You
though? That's
don't.
the thing.
You don't.
That's
but I'm
so
just
you.
saying, you're comparing. It's not fair. I'm calling
It's
the co- I'm calling the
unrealistic
police.
if something is
I'm calling the cops right now.
very
There we go.
unobtainable to find it that we can't relate it that way. If there was more turbo boxes, I would be more happily to get it because I think it showcases a lot
Yeah.
better. But they're just not as
Disagree.
common.
Hard disagree. Ghetto, what's up, buddy? How you doing, dude? Ghetto was part of our 10K stream yesterday. We had hilarious moments. There was money. There was bikinis. There was this whole thing.
There
It
we
was
go.
fun. It was super fun. Okay,
Sad I missed it.
It's okay. You were doing your minor thing. That's fine. So I put in the poll. Are we going to see Bishu? Yes or no? 61% of you said no, and 39 said yes. I hope you guys aren't cheating ahead. Oh, I'm so nervous. I want to see Bishu again.
I think Bishu's done.
You think it's done? Look at this $10,000 great game giveaway. This is
Oh
so
my
fun.
god, dude! Can you imagine?
Oh,
Wow.
that's if you P90. If you go down the rabbit hole of watching Video Power, if you go into season
Yeah.
season 2,
Mhm.
it's a game show version now. So think of the head to head of Family Feud.
Right.
So-
oh, really?
So
Oh,
Johnny
cool.
Arcade will be in the middle, then the 2 contestants are on the sides. At the end, they go through this obstacle course and they get so many games. It's like whatever you can grab. It's
Oh,
crazy.
dude,
They
that's
totally
awesome.
changed it.
That's so cool.
Oh, did you miss it, Mo? Well, I'm sorry, man. I guess you had to be there, buddy, for that one. I can't recreate it. It was a scene. It was a scene.
So not Nevada. Dude.
Here you go. Here you go, P90. Super base is loaded. There you
Such
go.
a good game, man. Such a good game.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Shining in the Darkness.
That's a good game. It's awesome. Chips and bits, buy 2 get 1 free. That's a good deal.
NHL hockey.
That's
Such a good
deal.
cover too, man.
What, the NHL? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. The ever rare NHL 98 for Genesis. There you go. You want to collect rare games? That's a rare one for sure. Shining in the Darkness. Yeah, you think about Genesis EA brought out NHL 98. Think about what was like 64 was out, PlayStation was out, Saturn was out. So, yeah, anyway, it's a rare one.
I don't think I've heard of this one. I've heard of Shining Darkness, but not Shining in the Darkness.
Yeah, it looks like a dungeon crawler. Yeah, obviously it is. I don't think I've played this one either. Not too familiar. Die Hard Video Games, the #1 import store in Michigan, just a stone's throw away from where we are here. Got some great stuff there.
Is that still around?
I don't think so. I don't know. There's the number. Someone want to call it? Cold call them. Are you guys still around? I bought a Japanese Saturn from you in 1995. Like, it's not working now.
What's that?
Did you guys
box comic
ever-
in the top left there?
Sorry, did you guys ever buy a game from one of these ads?
Well, this one here actually went to the store.
Oh wow.
This was a store you could go to, yeah. Because
Hmm.
back in the day, it was game companies would release the system in Japan well before it came here. So there's a reason to get imports, right? I got a Japanese Saturn, which was totally stupid of me to do, but I did. 64, Japanese 64. What game, Will? What game are you? You said you were. What was the game in the top left? Is that what you said?
No, in the top left they have a bonk comment there. It's bonk. Look at it.
Oh yeah, that might be Bonk 3 or Super Bonk. I don't know.
So,
Yeah, that's cool. Raiden Trad, another top-down shooter. These issues are definitely getting bigger for sure. There you go. There you go. Let's go. NHL. Ghetto says maybe 1993, but yeah, crap was fire fun. I'll never forget that unboxing. I know Jay has a Philips CDI. We could have Jay do a playthrough of Thunder in Paradise. Oh boy.
I gotta get Jay to do a playthrough of Iron Sword.
I have a CDI. I've showed you guys my CDI. I don't know if you can
Iron
see it.
Sword, isn't that the Fabio cover?
Yep, Jay loves that
Oh
game.
my!
We went out last time, and every time he saw it, he's like, "I should buy a copy." I'm like, do it.
If you guys can see, okay, bottom left. That's the CDI. It looks like an old VCR, like it's got zero style to it. But it was supposed to look like a cool piece of electronics, right?
And they failed.
Yeah.
Arcus.
Oh, is that
so-
Arcus Odyssey? That's the one they reviewed earlier. I kind of want to
Yeah.
see what this game is like. It's a gauntlet type game, and I do like those type of games.
That was the game that was kind of all over the place.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do a poll
Sure.
in the Discord.
Yeah.
See what my first Genesis game people will recommend to buy. I know you guys recommended Adventure Island 2. So do on Discord.
I don't think that was on Genesis.
No. I'm just saying in general. Remember last episode we
Yeah.
asked them to choose a game that was in the listing there.
Yeah. Dude,
Just
I
saying,
would
if we wanted to open up there, I'd say maybe what's the first Genesis game?
You got to do Sega stuff. I would say for you, Sega Ghostbusters for sure.
That's the good one, right?
Yeah, that's made by Sega, and they're all like bobblehead characters. It's friggin' fantastic, man. I would say Ghostbusters, or yeah, JT says Fantasy Star 2. I would say that too. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, JP, don't worry. Yeah, we don't spend more than we should. Definitely not. No pressure there.
We try not to, anyways. I will say I peer pressure Jay a fair bit.
CDI quest. That will be the quest for you guys not to fall asleep. That will be the the goal of that one. Are we? Oh, Game Gear is packed. Oh, are we getting there? We're getting there. Streets are not. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. We got to wrap it up soon. Willie's got to stream soon.
No, I don't got to stream today. It's okay.
You don't got to stream today. Okay. P90, you good? You doing good?
Good for a bit, maybe till 1:30 the latest for me. But you guys
Sure.
can go ahead and whatever, do your thing.
Yeah, we'll be done by then for sure. Yeah, I think we're almost at the end here. Yeah, this is just going in depth. Yeah, look at this again. Look at these maps. Kabuki.
Hmm.
This is.
I remember we talked about Kabuki
yeah.
before. I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever played that one. Very similar to Ninja Gaiden, if I remember right, isn't it? Like playstyle?
Looks like it. Yeah, looks kind of the same, around the same. Very cool. But again, the detailed maps that they do is just friggin' awesome. I absolutely love it. I love seeing these two. I'm really partial to seeing these ads now for these stores that may or may not be around still. This is obviously another import store.
I looked at that Die Hard games. They're not around.
Oh, well, who's going to fix my Saturn? I had a warranty, man.
Well, shouldn't have bought it.
From 1995. Game over, man. Sonic. Who's beat Sonic 1 in the chat? I've beat it.
Same here. Collected all the emeralds or whatever they were called. It was the only one of the old
Which-
Sega games I had. So yeah.
Which is the one that has like a giant robot body in space at the end?
I don't know.
I only played one, so that doesn't ring a
There's
bell.
one of them I remember playing with a friend at a friend's house, and we beat. And that was like the end boss. That's all I remember.
I don't remember. They kind of blend together. It's almost like Mega Man. It's like trying to remember all the different phases of Wily or Willy or I call him
Oh.
Wily.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't play them that much, but I'm just saying it's like the same kind of thing. They all kind of blend together for me. Sonic 2 JP says. There you go.
Sonic 2?
had that
Okay.
mod. Yeah.
Thanks,
There you
JP.
Christoph, take care, buddy. We'll see you. I'm back on Thursday, although Willie and I are going to stream from the road tomorrow.
Cool.
So we'll see you on the way to our secret destination. You never know where we're going. Going to Rockin' Cats. There you go.
No Bishu. Rest in peace, Bishu.
Big shout out to Retro Mags again for archiving all this video game history.
That is
Look
so
at
cool.
all the magazines, man. We just do EGM, but look at all the magazines these guys have. Give them support, guys. Thank you again, Retro Mags. Boom. There we go.
That was fun.
Lots of fun. We're gonna go around the room here, and we'll start with P90. If you want to promote yourself, tell people where they can find you, what you got coming up, all that kind of stuff, and you're on.
Sure, man. Name's P90 Explorer on YouTube. I've been playing, I don't know, streaming on YouTube since 2016, but lately I've been playing a lot of retro games, and that's what seems to be picking up. So I do a lot of Ninja Gaiden stuff, Ninja Gaiden speedruns, just old games. I got a new series called Beating Hard Games. I'm trying to beat games that I've never beaten before, like Contra, Battletoads, probably Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I never beat that one. So yeah, that's going to be a fun little series, and I like the challenge. So yeah, you can find me there.
Yeah, I stream Super Ghouls and Ghosts too, and I get through it, and then it's going through it again. And Super Ghouls and Ghosts is really difficult because you have to beat the guy the second time with the goddess bracelet.
Yeah, that's the part that I can't do. I mean, I could
It's hard.
probably breeze and get there pretty easily. Then you get there and beating the last two guys with that bracelet, dude. That's punishment, man. It's
Yeah.
brutal.
Because it's terrible, and you have to, if you die, you have to go back to the beginning of the level
Exactly.
and try and get back there with the goddess bracelet.
Not a fan of that, to be honest. I mean, that's just making a game hard to make it hard. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ghetto, what's up, buddy? Hello, lots of love. All right, Willie, you're up.
Hello, friends. You can catch me over at twitch.tv/WillLo. I stream every Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and usually Sundays, except for today. I got a little thing I got to attend to today. But yeah, play a lot of survival crafting games. So right now we're really hooked on, I just started Minecraft for the first time. I'm playing some Ark Survival Ascended and some Once Human right now. So yeah, lots of fun. Hopefully see you over there. And we do have a YouTube video hopefully coming up soon. I've been slowly editing it. and it's based around some of the stuff we've collected.
That's fun.
Cool.
We are on the road tomorrow. We're heading to, well, we could say we're heading to Toronto, the Toronto area.
Yep.
And we're going to stream on our way there. So look forward to that. I'll be back with you guys on Thursday, and hopefully by Sunday, our trip will be in video form, and I can share that with you guys. But I just want to say once again, I'm humbled. Thank you so much, guys, for the 10K, for the super chats today, all the new members and subs. I couldn't do it without you guys. Big shout out to P90. Make sure you guys give him some love, okay? WillLo and my man Chad for being there as part of my journey as well. All right. Anyone who wants to play GTA Online, I'm playing after this off stream. So come on in the Discord. Let's have some fun. We good? All right, guys. We'll talk to you later. Have a great Sunday. Cheers.